welcome in here to the first time ever a live edition of Bandwagon Nerds here on the Chairshot Radio Network, a part of the Chairshot.com, where we remind you to always use your head. Ray's got his finger. Are we bloodlining this thing already, buddy? All right, it's the one, and it doesn't one and only mean.
I'm acknowledging my legal chief.
Oh, okay. Isn't one and only mean one and only? Anyway, we are thrilled to be here coming with you guys live here today on the 323rd consecutive episode of Bandwagon Nerds. It is, for those of you who don't know what this show is all about, this is our nerd, geek, pop culture podcast that we started like 2 or 3 months before the pandemic hit, and we persevered through the pandemic and got back to the good stuff. And this is what it is. On this show, we always talk about a lot of it revolves around the big three, like we've talked about with Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. That's our big three. But we got a lot of stuff going on.
You can argue there's even a big three anymore.
It's a big four. You got to add The Witcher.
Yeah.
Star Wars is pretty weak lately.
Yeah, it is. Tony's favorite show, The Witcher.
I'm not acknowledging that comment.
Star Wars has a big 2026, though, so they may be back.
We'll see.
Maybe. We hope. We'll hope they get their head out of their ass. But for those of you who are new to the show and don't know anything about this, we hope you stick around here. We got a really good show here today for you guys. We're going to talk a lot of trailers. We're going to break down the Avengers Doomsday X-Men trailer. Ray is already emotional. You can see him. I mean, he's emotional about this shit already. He is so heartfelt about this episode being live. Ray, how you doing, man? Otherwise,
to quote the great modern philosopher Trinidad James, I popped a Molly and I'm sweating. Whoa. Oh. No, I'm joking. I'm drug free. I have eye allergies today. So besides this,
and whatever story you people want to believe, story A or story B.
Wait a minute. What do you mean, you people?
The people that are watching?
Okay, that's a good answer. That's a good answer.
That's
a good answer.
Yeah, exactly what I meant.
That's appropriate.
Yeah. It is, very. Hi, Ray.
What's up, boy?
Johnny, of course, also on this episode.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm okay. Fine. Let's talk about nerd stuff, please. And only nerd stuff. Fuck all of you in my comments.
Do we want to pour one out for the big homie?
No, we're just going to We're going to do this podcast while I watch Buffalo and Jacksonville play like I intended.
I mean, but we got to let there's a fourth person that works on this show, by the way.
Oh, congratulations. Me and him already texted each other.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about literally he would be here, but he big-timed us.
Yeah, he is. He's making money. I mean, I begrudge nobody.
Do you guys want to know the meme that Patrick sent me at halftime? The meme he sent me at halftime was Dr. Evil going, shit. And then in the morning, when I got up, I decided to look at my phone finally, and I sent him Fozzie Bear.
Oh, right, Ray and I were having our own conversation about that, which we will not get into here today because I promised you no talk about the Bears and Packers. But let us know what's going on with the Bills and Jaguars. For those of you who don't know, the three of us yesterday did a live version of Four Corners podcast. I really probably should play the lottery with some of the shit that I came up with after yesterday. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is Bandwagon Nerds. We've got all sorts of good stuff. Like I said, we're talking lots of trailers. We are going to talk in depth about the X-Men Avengers Doomsday trailer. Lots to break down there. The saga with Warner Brothers and who is going to buy them and who isn't will never end. I am adamantly convinced of that shit. We're going to have to probably play taps, Ray, to one of the projects that you have been holding a candle. You have been dying on the hill that this thing is coming, but I think it's time we say, rest in peace, Blade. We will talk about that. And of course, all that notwithstanding, we have got the opening round, the play-in round, so to speak, of Battle Royal Madness. We will determine the 16 seeds and who is going to get their ass slaughtered as we go into the first. It's going to be bad. The play-in matches will probably be a little bit more competitive, but yeah. Ray will be taking over that part of the show, and of course, what you watching at the end of this thing. So, Tony, I don't even know. Is your soundboard working? We haven't even tried it. I don't know. Do we want to get any banjo? You know what? Let's just go to the trailer park. We don't need banjos for this whole thing. We got. I mean, dude, and there were a couple of trailers I actually left off of this thing because I'm just like, God damn, there's 6 of them already. One of them I disqualified because of the blatant duplicate posting that you two gentlemen did on the Crime 101. Yeah, you two. I'm looking at you
Oh no,
guys
Ray, he
on the
did it. I
Crime
he did it to
101
me. I
trailer.
put it out. He's just like, what the hell?
Actually, Tony changed the time because I sent that shit before he did.
Right,
So
I
he
know how
put
to
it in
do
the
Okay.
that.
algorithm.
Yeah,
He is a
I'm
Grok
able to do
subscriber.
that.
He's
Sure.
a Grok
He has been
subscriber.
Yes, and with
he
that,
has
I'm
been
able to change the chronological order of mentions in a DM. DM
he's
me to
been
know
hanging
how.
around with me. Ray, he's been hanging around with me on unidentified history so much he thinks that
Hey,
he's got the secrets of
the
time travel
evil.
now.
I am the evil
Please share.
archivist.
Share.
Yeah,
Interesting.
All right.
yeah.
It
Ray's
is an
full of shit,
interesting,
people.
interesting. All right, let's talk about our first trailer here today. And you know, for those of you guys who are watching at home, we don't normally play the trailers. We are going to play one trailer specifically here live today, and you guys can probably figure out which one that's going to be when we get to it. It is the main event, so to speak, of the trailer park. But the first one's coming out November 15th, 2026, just a few days from now. Agatha Christie's Seven Dials. Agatha Christie, of course, one of the stalwarts, one of the pillars of mystery thriller sort of fiction and that sort of thing. We've seen some of her novels adapted into movies and stuff like that, but I don't know if we've ever seen somebody try and take one of her stories and turn it. What is this? This is a miniseries, right? Like a 3
Yeah, 3
episode
episodes.
miniseries, I think.
Yeah.
um it looks interesting. I mean, I like a good murder mystery as much as anybody. Shout out to Knives Out. That series is fantastic, and I'm almost done with the new movie. It's awesome. I love the boxing priest. He's the man. But Ray, I'll go to you first on this one. You're nodding about this. What do you think of this trailer of Agatha Christie? We've got a brand new little mini series coming out. I mean, Netflix not going to do theaters as Christopher Nolan is bitching about. We'll talk about that later, but they will do a mini series like this. And here's what looks like it might be a good one. Seven Dials. What do you think of this one, Ray?
I have a funny Agatha Christie story real fast.
Sure.
So, being the youngest member of this esteemed panel, and also being the most melanated member of said esteemed panel, I thought growing up that old girl from Murder She Wrote was Agatha Christie.
What the hell was Angela Lansbury?
Oh
Isn't that who
Jesus.
that
Yeah,
was?
I thought that was Agatha Christie. I
Look
was
it up,
like,
Tony. I
damn,
think
she's
it's
still
Angela
writing books.
Lansbury.
It's Angela Lansbury who
Yeah.
was in Murder She Wrote. I have to look that up, but okay.
So I just thought that would be funny to mention on the show. It looks cool. Netflix needs content. Netflix needs original content. Netflix needs content that you can't get anywhere else. You said yourself, ain't a whole lot of adaptations of Agatha Christie stuff. So this could be interesting. It looks impeccably acted. You don't have Helena Bonham Carter and Martin Freeman in the show, and it's not impeccably acted. I am still a little bit bullish on if it's going to be extremely interesting enough for me to catch. I like a murder mystery too. Um, I don't know enough about what they looking for. Oh boy, might be dead, he might not. Okay, cool. But just because it's Agatha Christie isn't enough for me to say, oh, stop what I'm doing, put the reminder on, watch it when it comes out. I will be glad to hear good reviews, and if I hear good reviews, I'll watch it. I love Netflix, so we'll see.
Enough. Tony, what do you think? Is this on your watch list or is this your I'll think about it some other time list?
Likely not going to be watched. It does look intriguing though. I mean, if you're into this genre, like Ray said, the cast looks excellent. This is from the 1929 book about the secret society of the Seven Dials, and the mystery involves a practical joke involving 8 alarm clocks that leads to this death, and they have to figure out why all this happened and how the Seven Dials Society is involved. So I'm sure it's excellent. I'm sure it's going to get watched. I'm guessing it's easily going to turn into multiple seasons, considering there's so many books to pull from, right? So we'll see what happens. This could be hugely successful for Netflix.
So you're telling me all they had to do was stop pressing snooze, and nobody does?
If what?
Stop pressing snooze on the alarm clocks, and nobody does?
I had a roommate in college who would always sleep through his alarm, and I mean like for like hour at a time. One time we had to smash that thing. Yeah. Yep.
I do like Tony what he said there that Agatha Christie's got a lot of material that they can pull from. So if this works, there's a lot of adaptations they can do with her stuff that would be unique and different, and not just like, hey, let's just take something and adapt it to live action. And no, we're not going to get into that whole debate today, Ray. Cool your jets, brother. The whole live action remake thing that we discussed it privately in the chat. We don't need to get into.
You don't want to lose a battle on live air. It's cool. It's not lose argument.
We're not going to lose the battle. How am I going to lose the battle? Because I think my opinion is that Disney does too many of these fucking live action remakes for no reason other than, hey, we can make money, which I guess is a good reason. But I sold all my Disney stocks, so I don't care. Anyway, let's move on. We can talk about that some other time. Unlike the first trailer, the second trailer that we had on the list today is something that I think all of us are interested in because we are predominantly, the chairshot.com is predominantly a pro wrestling network. It is sports, entertainment, and sports entertainment. And moving squarely into that third category of sports entertainment is the trailer that we got for season 2 of Unreal, the Netflix show that takes you behind the scenes in WWE to pull back the curtain, so to speak. And this trailer was really interesting because Paul Heyman comes out right at the beginning and says, look, full disclosure, I hate this fucking show. You guys are breaking kayfabe. You're doing all the things about the secrecy in the business that I hold dear, that the business was built upon. And I'm like, Paul, shut the hell up. You're going to get a check. So I get what he's saying, but it's like, I don't know if I really believe you, Paul. You have a tendency to be a bullshit artist at times, but this one looks like it's centered a lot around the Seth Rollins head fake on the injury, where people were not sure, is this a real injury? Is it not a real injury? It was a fake injury the whole time. And there's a lot of good commentary from Becky talking about how, you have to lie to your friends. This is not a real yeah, he's really seriously hurt. Is he really hurt, Becky? Oh, yes, absolutely. He's very hurt. Really? Yeah. Their daughter goes to school and says that daddy has a fake boo-boo and says like, Rude, you can't tell people that. You've got that. I'm sure we're going to get to they'll go behind the scenes as far as the decision to flip John Cena back to babyface because the heel run was a not cataclysmic failure. It was a failure in certain respects. More on that. Tune in this week. This Friday, we will have part 2 of the 11th annual Swaggy Awards is coming up this week. Big categories there. I've been putting out little shorts and clips. I got one more little clip to put out from part 1 later on today, and then I'm done because I've gotten, I just do what my studio tells me. My AI manager says, hey, this might work. And I'm like, okay, I'll go with that. But Tony, I'll go to you first, man. Unreal Season 2, I know you and I were big fans of Season 1. I'm thrilled that we're going to get a second season. Peeling back the curtain, going behind the scenes in the machine that is WWE, massive events that this is covering leading into SummerSlam with the Seth Rollins fake injury, John Cena turning babyface, and everything that leads into the street fight at SummerSlam.
It's a fun little show. I don't live and die for it. I enjoyed it the first time around. I don't know if I'll get to this immediately, but just remember, you're still really only seeing what they want you to see.
That's right.
They had an interview.
It is kayfabe within kayfabe, right? I mean, it is like there's layers to this shit.
Paul Heyman is selling it to you by being Paul Heyman. There was
righteously indignant. No, you're not.
Seth and Becky were doing, and at some point Seth was like, you got to understand where the filming is and when it is, and if you don't want to be there, then figure it out, right? Like, so it's nice. I think it's for more of the fans that are a little bit more casual than maybe the three of us. I know a good friend of mine, the General, who who just he follows the storylines. He tunes in, to the big matches on the pay-per-views and
Wait,
maybe
wait,
on a
wait.
big
Does
moment
he
or
give you
something.
good rates on car insurance? Does he
He's
give you
not
good rates
not
on
that
car insurance?
not that general. But I had asked
Okay.
him months after Unreal was already out. We were golfing, I think. I was like talking about what we were watching, and it's like, did you watch Unreal? He's like, yeah, I watched the whole thing right away. So, I think the casual fan who a little more storyline esque doesn't necessarily know everything about the business was like, this is eating that up.
This is gonna
Ray, were you a
do.
big fan of the? Go ahead. Sorry, Ray.
Yeah,
Go.
no, 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 yeah, yeah. So to answer the question you're about to ask, I love Unreal. I love it. I love it. I love everything about it. This is a lot of people's first time probably hearing me or seeing me. If it is, what it do? Uh, I grew up wanting to wrestle. I had some health problems, which didn't allow me to wrestle. But I have worked with Booker T, done some stuff at his school, taken a bump or two, and I've always been enamored with the creative process of professional wrestling. So that's why I love this so much because this is the first time you get a chance to hear people talk about it so openly. Um, well, as Tony said, as openly as they would allow you to think. So I love the show. I love everything about it. I love. Rollins had a very salient point. He said that he hates the idea of it, but what makes him feel better about it is it's after the fact, so it's not giving anything away in real time, which he feels better about. The one thing about the trailer for this season that bothered me, they're talking about the R-Truth situation,
Mm.
and that makes me wonder, was that a work? Because for those wrestling fans who aren't aware or people who aren't whatever, R-Truth got released, not released. R-Truth's contract ended, and they chose not to re-sign him. And Truth's been a lifer. He's basically been there forever. Excuse the few years he went back to TNA. But yeah, that's the most loved dude. One of the top five most loved dudes in the history of professional wrestling, no question. In and out of the ring. That's the first time I've
Yeah.
ever seen somebody get fired, and the not just the audience, the locker room almost mutinied to get him back. So if that was a bruh, as be skeptical
Okay.
all you
Okay.
want. Uh,
Before you go on, let's explain to anybody listening or watching in who's not familiar with the wrestling terminology. Go ahead, Ray. Explain to them the difference between a work and a shoot.
so a work is something that is scripted, something that is made for the purposes of the entertainment side of the business. So something that was talked about, agreed upon, written out. A shoot is something that is real, something that actually happens, and oftentimes against the better hope or judgment of what the company wants. Um, the Montreal Screwjob, in many ways, is thought to be a shoot. Stuff like that. So Truth's contract legitimately being up and not coming back, whether it was real or not. Everything before this trailer made me think it was real, and now they're talking about it. And I understand they probably would have to. This is too big of a story, but the timing of it when it happened with the Unreal cameras being there, that would bother me as a fan. That would be a good thing for me.
I'll be interested to see how, how they portray that and whether do we get the feeling that this was a complete shoot? Was it a work? Was it, sometimes nowadays we get these hybrid sort of things where it's like you work yourself into a shoot or you could shoot yourself into a work, I guess. That'd be a little bit
Yeah,
harder, but,
make the best of a bad
This is the
situation, which is
worst
probably what it is.
conversation I've ever heard.
what? Go
Wrestling.
ahead. You're wrestling. Clean it up for us, Tony.
No, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah, Truth is great. I think I remember at the time we were all trying to figure out, right? Were they were they pulling the wool over our eyes that they had every intention of bringing him back with intentions of us feeling sorry for him to make him even more favorable or not? You're never going to know anymore, right? They're not going to tell
Yeah.
you. They're not going to
This
tell
show's
you.
not
Those
going
are
to tell you the truth.
and that's kind of the new way of leaning into the fact that kayfabe is dead, right? It's like, well, you know, it mix this real life kind of storyline in a little bit with what's going on over here, as opposed to completely separating, you know, Rhea, you know, girlfriend, maybe wife, not wife of Buddy, or not?
They're
Are they
married now.
married?
Yeah,
They're
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 married.
married.
married. I think
Okay, so
them and Buddy
wife
got
of
married. Yeah, I think.
wife or Rhea Ripley, WWE super. You know what I mean? Like, not that they're doing that, but like kind of those mixing those life things. So it's good. They're in a good place. I like the stories they're telling. I think wrestling in overall is in a good place, and a lot of
Agreed.
options for people.
Yeah, I think this will help. We are officially pretty damn close to being on the road to WrestleMania. Royal Rumble coming up. We're not going to talk any more wrestling because right now Patrick can see us, and I can feel his
He'll be all right.
anger at this
He is
He'll
not
be
conversation.
all right.
watching this live. He is not
He's
He had
not
watching this
watching.
live.
he had a good
He's
night last night. He'll
bowling.
forgive us one day.
He's knocking down
Yeah,
strikes, and on the rare occurrence, he's picking up them spares. So there you go.
that's right. He is. He's making all that. He's making that money. Making that money. All right. Speaking of Patrick, the next trailer I have to give him absolute full credit for this, and I know this got retweeted by some fairly decent size UAP accounts because, and they credited me with finding this trailer. That is not necessarily the case because Patrick clued me in to the trailer in the first place. So this is all Patrick's doing. But this is definitely UAP related. So we got a trailer for a documentary that's literally come out of nowhere. None of the like the big UAP accounts that I cover and interact with, none of us knew this was coming. We were still focused on Age of Disclosure and on Moment of Contact, but we got this trailer for Starman. I had one guy criticize me, says, "You baited me into thinking it was a remake of the 1984 thing." I'm like, "That's my fault." That sort of thing. It's like, fair enough. That's fine. But this trailer that we got for this documentary coming up called Starman, it is about, it's an exploration of life beyond Earth through the author Gentry Lee, who is an interesting dynamic because he is a science fiction author, but also kind of, an experiencer as well in some respects. And he's exploring the bigger question in this documentary as to, is there life out there? Or are we alone? The stuff that we always talk about on Unidentified History, the things that we wonder. But it's cool because he's like integrating science fiction and the impact of science fiction, like 2001 A Space Odyssey is on there. I think there's a clip from Arrival, that sort of thing. So they're gonna, and he says something in the trailer that really caused me to stop and think for a second. He's like, is it a inevitability of an advanced civilization that they can only get so far before they wipe themselves out? um Very deep stuff, very poignant conversations. It looks like a really interesting documentary, supposedly in theaters February 6th. I have not been able to find any place that this thing is playing, but I'm sure it's going to show up on Prime right afterwards, probably for purchase or something like that. But in the last few months, the UAP field has had massive documentaries coming out. This looks like another one. Tony, you're my partner in crime and unidentified history. Let me go to you first on this thing. What do you think of this trailer? Does this interest you at all, or what do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean it's right in line with everything that we've been trying to bring ears to, and things of that nature. I
Yeah.
I think you're right. It is a kind of a strike while the iron's pretty darn hot right now, so you can see a lot of things maybe kind of overlapping each other with information a little bit. We'll see what happens with that. But so far everything that we've kind of focused on has delivered for us. It's interesting. You talk about the different references here. Is it alluding to, like, are we living in a life imitating art, or is art about to imitate life, and what's going to be happening and things of that nature, right? On X the other day, someone was like, what language do you wish you could speak? And I'm like, whatever they're speaking when they come on down. So let me know what that is.
Aliens.
I'd
Yeah.
like to be able to communicate. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. When they show up, I want to be able to communicate as well. Raymond S. Cashington Esquire, the prime original
that's why.
242nd derivative of pi inverted upon itself. He is actually a member of the unidentified. I know, I'm getting technical. I've been watching too many documentaries on quantum physics and quantum mechanics and shit lately. But anyway, Ray is a member of the Unidentified History chat, but we've never really, gotten a chance to get your take on some of this stuff, Ray. So here's a first. Raymond S. Cashington going to let us know what you think of the Starman trailer and the message that it's possibly trying to get out there.
Let me tell you what I really like about this trailer. It seems like a fantastic introduction for someone who doesn't know. It seems like a fantastic introduction for someone who is not tuned in or really deep in the understanding of the, as you would like to call it so eloquently, the UAP community. You guys, particularly you, Dave, are doing fantastic work with uncurling some of the mysteries and some of the kind of loose threads that have been hidden or kind of put to the side and things of that nature, or taken out of public on purpose or whatever it is. Y'all have done a great job of covering these things and letting people know that this isn't some type of fallacy or some type of science fiction thought.
Fantasy.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
fantasy. There is realistic, real things that have been proven and that have been hidden from us. So this is a perfect example for somebody who doesn't know any of that. Somebody who watched you. You said a great example. Arrival is a fantastic movie in the idea of understanding the interconnectivity between our society and what we would venture to call, forgive me if we don't use this word anymore, but the alien community or society. So I think this is a great example because it's not only talking about a lot of the things that happen and mentioning that there's a trillion planets and we can't be the only one with intelligent life, but it brings in real life things like you talked about. It brings in regular everyday uh, occurrences. So yeah, I think this is a really good trailer. You probably don't see anything in any theaters because if it's not a big movie, it's not gonna have anything booked this early. I'd be curious to see
I
a week before what it looks
yeah,
like.
I love what you said there that this is a really good primer for people who aren't so familiar with the situation. And Tony knows when we did the Age of Disclosure review, that was the main one of the main points I made is that I thought it was a perfect entry point for people. I would say that this is going to be more user friendly and accessible than Age of Disclosure. Age of Disclosure is a great entry point, but it's heavy. Tony watched the movie. It's heavy. They're dealing with some very in-depth, heavy topics of conversation. This looks like the way that they're going to merge kind of the more general discussion with science fiction and things like that. That this might be, something that, like you're saying, Ray, it's a little bit easier for a lot of people to get into, and you get it very accessible, and just kind of yeah, because anybody who's listened on Identified History or any of the other great shows that are out there knows there is a lot more to this phenomenon than you've been led to believe. I mean, if they've convinced you it's all science fiction, I am not going to get on my soapbox here on Bandwagon Nerds. But I will say this movie, I think Ray is right. Go check it out when it becomes available. I think it'll be an excellent entry point for anybody wanting to learn a little bit more about that. It should be the biggest question in humanity. Are we alone? Instead, we're distracted by all this other stuff. Anyway, I get off my soapbox and we move on to our next trailer. Yeah, so let's keep on rolling here. Tony, I think you somehow, some way, PC Tunney has turned into the horror expert of Bandwagon Nerds. I don't know how this happened because it's not his genre. But Tunney, didn't you share this trailer for this little film coming out uh, in theaters March 27th, 2026, called They Will Kill You? Um, this trailer to me, well, you know what, Tony? Ray, let me go to you first. I'll go to you first on this one. I got my thoughts. I don't know which one of you guys shared this, whether it was you, Tony, Patrick. This one has, like, to me, Kill Bill vibes all over the damn thing. That's what it felt like to me. But I go to you first, Ray. What are your thoughts on this wild ass movie where we've got satanic rituals gone wrong?
So Kill Bill is an interesting comp because clearly the one woman killing everybody for her freedom or her retribution, whatever. But Kill Bill's not funny. It has inherently funny things because real life can be funny in certain situations. The where the bride is fighting Vivica A. Fox and the kid comes home. Like there are some funny parts, but it's not meant to be
Yeah,
funny. This shit is
sure.
meant to be funny, and funny in a way like what was that trailer we had? Where the all the people are hunting the girl, and the girl killed him, and now it's the second one, and they're trying to get her again or something. We
Oh,
just did
she
it.
didn't. Isn't that the one where they kidnap her and she's a
Yeah,
vampire? Is that I forget what
we
that
just
one
we just
was,
did
but
that in
yeah,
Trailer
that's
Park a few episodes ago. It reminds me of that.
it was a while ago. Yeah. I will
Zazie
say
P.
before you
Yeah.
move on, I do want to point this out, especially for my good friend PC Tunney. You recognize who the star of this is, right? From your favorite show, The Witcher. She is one of the rats,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I seen that right away.
Zazie Beats, the black
Sure.
girl, she's in The Witcher.
She's the main rat. She's
Yeah,
like
she's
a
Siri's
series love
girlfriend.
interest.
I'm
She
so
doesn't have a
sorry that she had to be in that monstrosity of a show.
well, she lost her head, Ray, so it's okay. She's not
She's
coming
dead.
back for the fifth
If
She's not in
season,
there
and neither
anymore.
is PC Tunney or any of us, for that matter. But
It's a true story.
if you didn't watch the modern classic that Tunney calls The Witcher, she also is Domino from the Deadpool movie,
yes,
and she is Ern's girlfriend. I can't remember her name. Donald Glover's girlfriend, baby mama on Atlanta. So she's really doing her thing. Looks really really fun. Uh, Trying to give her to Satan. That's interesting. Uh, she's definitely didn't want to go to Satan.
no, she takes it out on everybody in that
She
building,
sent
man.
everybody
Everybody's
else to
kind of
that motherfucker.
yeah. You just like, who the hell are you? Just beat the hell out of everybody. Tunney, you're the horror fan amongst the three of us. That's kayfabe for you guys at home. That's kayfabe.
I
Or
did,
is
What
it?
do you think of this
I
trailer?
did, I did not
Or
share this trailer. Even though I did share Primate last week, I did not share this trailer. I'm interested to see what Primate's this weekend. Right? I bet you it does pretty good at the box office. It's gotten a lot of press.
some good reviews.
I did not share this. I did watch the trailer up to the point where they catch her in the closet and she double barrel shotguns that dude and blows him away and then like rolls over and like has like a sickle or something and chops the guy's like ankle, like in chops him down like a tree. That was enough for me. I'm not a horror guy, but for you guys, I'm thrilled you guys are happy about this.
Oh, I'm not watching this shit.
Oh, okay.
There's no way to hell.
I don't know if I'll check it out either. It does feel like the Kill Bill, the bride, just heavily trained. Where'd you learn how to fight like that? Prison? Really? I don't know if they teach that kind of like ninjutsu, Mossad sort of kind of training in your typical prison, but maybe I don't know. Maybe they do. Um, I don't know. I maybe I'll check it out. It looks a little too outlandish and over the top. I don't even know if you can qualify this as horror, as just action adventure, slashing people to bits
I
sort of
think
thing.
doing
Plenty of
it for the
gore.
purpose of sacrificing them for Satan helps.
Yeah, I gotta double check, make sure that I'm thinking of the same girl. I think it is the same girl, right, Tony? The girl from The Witcher is the same one in this trailer. I'm pretty sure it is. But Ray's gonna effort it while we move on to the next trailer. So all right, moving onward. Tony, I know for a fact you shared this one. Because I was like, when I put it on, I was like, okay, Tony shared this one. Hugh Jackman is back, but not as Wolverine. I know we're talking X-Men. That is coming up next, guys. I promise you. But Hugh Jackman is back, but not as Wolverine. We got a movie coming from A24. So if it's coming from A24, chances are it's going to be awesome. We don't know when this is coming out, but it's coming soon. It's an A24 movie, The Death of Robin Hood. Um, Robin Hood's kind of a grizzled veteran in this trailer. He's an older dude. Somebody has speaking of somebody wronging a girl and chasing her around. That seems to be the big focus of this trailer. And Robin Hood takes it out on some people with arrows to the eye and other body parts, I'm sure. Tony, you shared this one. Different role for Hugh Jackman, but it's different. But it's like there's still you kind of feel that little bit of that Wolverine sort of thing going on in this trailer. But you shared this. What about this appeals to you? And give it to us.
Well, we always talk about telling a different story, right? This is Robin Hood, but you don't hear about like the end of his days. It sounds like he had a final battle and was left for dead, and someone saved him against his will, and now he's in this village, and seems like this family has been enduring some horrible things, and he's going to teach them how to fight back. That's kind of what I got from it. It's very somber mood and setting. Um, but that Robin Hood tale is familiar to a lot of people, and this is just a different part of that tale. So I'm interested. I doubt I'll get to the theater for this, but I'd like to check it out. Hugh Jackman, excuse me, is so good in everything he does.
Ray, what'd you think of this one, man? This looks like it might be fun.
It's Old Man Logan in England.
Yeah, I'm like looking at this thing. I don't think that this is the same gal. They look
It's not.
alike.
She wasn't
Yeah,
in the movie.
Zazie Beats. She's okay. Yeah, she look all right. I retract that, man. They look alike. Tony, don't they look like the same chick?
I don't know what you're
But
talking about, Dave.
you watch The Witcher season 4. You stop it, or I'll start lobbying for season 5 to be reinstated, man. But go ahead, Ray. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just wanted to correct that for anybody listening. It's like Zazie Beats is not in The Witcher. Thank God for her, right, Ray?
Hey,
And Tony?
she's winning. She's winning if she wasn't in it. No, it's Old Man Logan, and something that had happened to old boy for him to get that vicious and that brutal, because Robin Hood was always a bit whimsical, and yeah, he did what he had to do, but he wasn't out here like chopping motherfuckers' heads off and shit. But
Depends on what Robin Hood stories you actually read or have seen in the theaters too. I mean, like Kevin Costner's Robin Hood is pretty gritty. He's not all out there singing songs. I mean, not everything's Robin Hood men in tights, Ray.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's
no,
not all men
right,
in tights, man.
right. But Robin Hood is an archer. He wasn't really a big, in any iteration, a big hand-to-hand combat kind of guy. He was kind of a stealth, get in, get out. I'm not saying he ain't kill people. This dude out here, you know what I'm talking about? So
this is Robin Hood Marine.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good thing about Robin Hood, though, is there's so much to his character that, and no one knows for sure. There is no there is no set in stone canon as far as Robin Hood. We know we know he's deadly with a bow and arrow. That much is given. But the rest of it, you can kind of fill in the gaps on your own there. Make it up as you go along. This is another, like Tony said, another side of the Robin Hood story, maybe a side that we haven't seen. But you're right, Ray. This has that Old Man Logan X-23 sort of feel to it. It looks really good. A24 is the Carmelo Hayes of cinematography. They don't miss,
They him.
No, they don't miss, that sort of thing. But they could be him too.
They're not even an underdog anymore. They continue to bring in like the best actors and actresses in the world, and grab like different stories too. Like, I mean, think of all the different genres and different ways of telling stories that they're only going to keep getting better. That's great. That's great for all of us consumers.
And they used to only release one movie a year. Now it's like 3 or 4.
They got the ability to broaden their horizons.
They are the biggest little studio in the world now, right? I mean,
so they're Reno.
They are. Man, I feel bad about getting that chick's identity so bad, but they look alike. I mean, I really was like, oh, that's a chick from The Witcher. But okay, anyway, I just because Patrick, I know you're going to hear this and you're going to be screaming at me earlier saying, no, that's not the same person. Dave, you ignorant slut. And he's right. I am. So
Dave, Jane. Yep.
It's all the same. Let's get to the main event of the Trailer Park Guys. And for, we have never done this before on the show, but we are going to do it here. We're actually going to play this trailer for all of you watching at home. We're going to watch along with you. Here it is, folks. The trailer for Avengers Doomsday, the X-Men version. Guys, the X-Men have officially arrived in the MCU. And here it is.
Death comes for us all. That's all I know for sure. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who will you be when you close your eyes?
11 months to go. We got to wait for that damn thing. Man, what a trailer. I mean, it's just a little tease of something, but clearly the most impactful, I would say, of the Avengers Doomsday trailers that we've gotten so far, because it officially introduces the X-Men, and not just any X-Men, motherfucking Cyclops, man. And Cyclops in all of his glory, not the guy who, got wiped out by this bullshit version of Dark Phoenix on a lakefront somewhere in Saskatchewan. I don't even give a shit anymore. I'm so pissed off about that movie. Don't get me started. Fuck. Scott Summers deserved a better fate. Anyway, so we get Scott Summers in this one. So let's break down the trailer a little bit, guys. Talk about it, because I know this is the main event. This is what a lot of people probably tuned in for, to hear what we had to think about Avengers Doomsday. The X-Men have arrived. So we get to start off. It's Charles. It's Magneto. Magneto looking pretty rough, but we do have, it is the guys that we hoped would be there, right? I mean, these are guys. It is Patrick Stewart. It is Sir Ian McKellen. They're reprising their roles. They're at least cordial with each other. Magneto still has his powers. Obviously, this chessboard is made out of metal because he's moving pieces around. And the whole aspect of, who are you going to, everybody dies. Who are you going to be when you close your eyes? I mean, so we're getting deep right away. And then we transition into Scott on the battlefield. There's sentinels moving behind him, guys. There's sentinel legs. You can see them moving behind him. He removes the visor, and anybody knows anything about the X-Men knows that shit gets real when Scott takes off that optical visor, and those blasts are going without any sort of inhibition, full strength, boom. Man, we've been speculating about what the X-Men might look like in the MCU. This is the first real look, that we get proper, not the Illuminati, not some parallel dimension where you kind of, you get to see Beast, that sort of thing. But this is official, guys. I mean, this is as big as it gets. The X-Men have officially arrived in the MCU. Yes, we have to wait 11 months to get there to see it officially break down on all of its glory. But the X-Men are here. Tunney, go ahead. You want Ray to go first? Ray, you go. Talk about this trailer, buddy. This is a big one, man. This is as far as yeah.
This is big. So first off, my eye is burning about as much as Scott's eyes do right now. So I'm over here miserable as fuck. Secondly, Scott's probably screaming and upset because he found out Wolverine knocked down Jean Grey again. Thirdly,
what? Wow.
Thirdly,
wow.
Again!
Yeah, Jean.
She just came back.
It'd be better if it was William Shatner saying "Khan," but it's all
right. It gave us just enough because they really didn't give a shit, and that's the beauty of these trailers. They're not giving us a damn thing, but it's enough for us to see them active, and for that nostalgia factor to say, "Oh, that makes us interesting." Until we get the proper one, when whoever plays in the Super Bowl, because nobody cares anymore about that damn game.
I don't care.
I'm sorry. Whoever plays at the Bad Bunny concert featuring two football teams. Then we'll actually get maybe some real shit. The next trailer is the Wakandans and the Fantastic Four and Talokan, so Namor and his group. So like they're really getting into some shit. But it's important to know the X-Men are here. It's important to see them. And you touched on something that's very important. The two people that people have always wanted to see get done right or see it all were Gambit, who was done, I think, excellently in Deadpool Wolverine, as good as you can really do him. And they wanted to see badass Cyclops. The best Cyclops I think we've ever seen in any form of media was in X-Men '97, because that's Scott, an asshole who's one of the most tactical leaders you'll ever see on a battlefield, but really is a piece of shit. Except to everybody except for Jean. And they played that perfect. I like that Marsden is getting the chance to really play the role better and the way he wants to. And let me say this, and then I'm gonna give it to Tony. People are geeked about him being in this comic accurate suit. Those of you who are listening, I want you to come close to the screen and turn your audio devices up. I don't give a periwinkle blue fuck about the comic accurate suits. Don't give a I don't give a
That was rude.
teal,
It's kind of rude.
a
Yeah, he was
chartreuse,
yeah, he's like, I don't give a fuck.
a robin's egg blue fuck.
You could give a fuck from a distance or not. I mean,
You
Ray,
know
just
what?
stop adding adjectives, man. Just keep it as I don't give a fuck.
Okay. I need you to understand the veracity of what I'm trying to say. If it makes you happy,
I
great. Who gives
feel your
a
hatred.
I think it is the dumbest thing to expect a grown ass man in 2026 who might have superpowers that were given to him by God, Cthulhu, Satan, whatever, Norman Osborn, whoever the fuck gave it to
Satan?
him, to walk around in a blue cat suit with yellow accoutrements and then really look out here looking like he can fight. What are you doing? So if you're happy, legitimately, I'm not mad if you're happy. I'm mad at the people that bitched about it for 25 years. You got it. Good. I'm off my soapbox.
Nostalgia sells tickets. Look how people lost their mind when Wolverine showed up in the
And
X-Men
I
outfit.
hated that too, my boy. I hated that too. I thought that was dumb as fuck too. I what's even more dumb is this
Hey,
the helmet has the helmet or the cowl has the ears, right? Bruce Wayne doesn't have cowlicks in his head. Those are ears on the suit. My boy Logan gotta have the Eddie Munsters. Like dog, it's okay. You could have a fade, bro. You could have a buzz cut. Get a crew cut. Go get a haircut, my boy. Go get a shape up. Get an edge
uh,
up. Get a what? I'm not white. What is it? Y'all get a 5 or 4? What is it? A 4 on the top and a 2 on
as
the
long as it's
bottom.
not a 6'7", Ray. As long as it's not a 6'7",
He
I don't
got a
give a shit.
20 in the corners so he can
All
fit
right,
the cow. I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm finished.
honey, clean this mess up, please.
oh, geez,
Ray
yeah,
just dropped a
thanks.
bomb. He
Appreciate
dropped
that.
the bomb, man. Where's that song, man? He dropped the
I
bomb
think
on
it
me.
looks great. I definitely can't wait to see this. No, I'm excited to see how they're going to incorporate in, you know, Professor X and Magneto, and how in what course of the movie we're going to have them. Like, obviously, we're not going to be seeing anything that's physical or of that nature, but the mental things and the struggles that they'll have to be involved in some case. And obviously, we have Cyclops in some kind of peril in some kind of battle. You touched on the fact that James Marsden is getting to continue to play this character. I'm glad too. I think I really like the way he is portrays Cyclops, especially as a superhero. So we'll see. I'm more interested to talk about the next thing we're going to talk about, but I want Dave to be able to comment on what we just saw as well.
And I want to ask you one quick question while you're talking about it. Do you think we see Fassbender and McAvoy?
In a trailer?
No,
No, in the
no,
movie.
I don't think so.
Oh,
No, I don't. I mean, here's the thing, though, and this kind of ties into me talking about this: is that the Sentinels' involvement raises the possibility of Days of Future Past and all that kind of shit that's going on.
Mhm.
So, um, and it certainly looks like one of the battlefield scenes that we are familiar with. Anybody who's watched Days of Future Past, read Days of Future Past, all that stuff knows kind of what's going on. So this looks like it's plucked straight from there. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. Because we know Marvel does not stick strictly to source material. They incorporate it, but they deviate when they think that the need dictates. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, the Sentinels' involvement, because that's what's going on behind Scott. There's no doubt about that. That part we know for sure. Um, Raises some questions as to where are we in the Avengers timeline. Is Doom interfering in the Days of Future Past timeline? Is it all going back to this notion that this is all about incursions? These are about different worlds colliding with each other. Is that what's happening here? Don't know. I don't know, but it looks like it's going to be awesome. I mean, I am beyond over the moon, absolutely thrilled I can't tell you guys how thrilled I am that the X-Men are finally here, man. I mean, that is just because, a couple weeks ago, Patrick had asked the question of us, well, how would you have changed the MCU? I said, I would have gone straight for X-Men. Fuck all this Avengers stuff, the Young Avengers, great, fine, bring them in later. I would have gone straight to X-Men. That's my opinion. I know you, Tony, you want to talk about the next topic, which is the rumored runtime of this movie, which I cannot imagine this is true. But it could be. But we've seen at least one post talking that this movie has a 3 hour and 45-minute runtime. That can't be right. And then there's a little part of me that says that could be right, because we don't have the build to this movie that we had with Infinity War and Endgame, right? We don't have 20 movies that have come before this. We have a lot of other movies that didn't quite fit in with the overall story that they're trying to tell, or so we think. Now, if the Russo brothers can pull all of phase fucking 4 and 5 and 6 together in one movie and make it make sense, you guys are legends. You guys are the greatest things since sliced bread and then beyond. I don't know if they can. If they can't, then 3 hours seems okay. I mean, how long was Endgame? Endgame was damn near 3 hours, if it not 3 hours on the nose.
2.5.
2.5. So 3 hours and 45 minutes. I mean, yeah, like Tony, you raised a good point, though. I know we were talking about this in the chat. If they're going to go that long, we got to have an intermission, you would hope, because holy shit, how are you going to, people don't have bladders. My wife will be getting the bathroom 3 times during that fucking movie. Especially at Studio Movie Grill, would be drinking beer and all this other shit. But
Endgame was 3 hours and 1 minute.
3 hours and 1 minute. All right. So, yeah, I will say this. I think Doomsday will be at least 3 hours. It'll match Endgame's length. I have no doubt about that. Whether they go that far over, 45 minutes over, I don't know, man. What do you guys think?
I'm okay if they do, if they have an intermission. Like, I can't sit there for 3 hours and 45 minutes, regardless of whether I just go and have nothing. Like, that means I need to drink something before I go so that I'm not drinking anything for 4 hours. Like, seriously, like I'm not, I don't go to the bathroom all the time. I'm like healthy, like not like saying that people that need to go to the bathroom more aren't healthy or whatever, but I'm just saying.
What are you saying about me, Tony?
It's difficult for a lot of people, even more difficult,
for middle-aged white men with prostate. No, sorry.
I mean, why not let the movie theater make a little bit extra money too? The people go and grab another. You might lose those 8 cents on refilling the popcorn, but they might buy another candy bar, and you make another $3.50 off of that. So we'll see. A lot of these places have restaurants inside where you could probably get food that you can pick up at intermission and bring back.
How long do you want the intermission to be, bro? 45 minutes? Goddamn.
No, if it's like 12 to 15 minutes, that's all you need. They're set and ready for this. You order ahead of time. They know when it's going to be. They know when the movie starts. They know when the intermission starts. Like, they'd be happy to do all this stuff. Like, I mean, otherwise, if there's no intermission, this can't be more than 3 hours. Like, that's like, we've sat through a bunch of these movies already, and it's just way too long. Like, a movie shouldn't be more than 2.5 hours, if that. I know Infinity War was 2 hours 29 minutes, but yeah, this is probably going to be like 3:15. You're not going to get an intermission, which sucks.
Right, what's honestly, the big theater chain out where you are? What's the theater chain out where you are called? The big ones with the in theater food and all that sort of stuff.
Well, we have AMC. We have AMC. We have Cinema. Oh,
we have Marcus Theaters, which also is like.
So we have,
and there's like a tavern movie theater too, where like they bring drinks and stuff. But like the one I go to, the one that Dan and I go to has they do a lot of. They have a Screen X, they do 3D, and they also have a Zaffiro's pizza. So like you can get all the Italian and like Italian desserts, and then wine and alcohol from there. So plus they do like chicken tenders and burgers and hot dogs and shit. So arcade by us too.
Out here we have Studio Movie Grill, which you just sit at your so you got it. So you just order meals, they bring it to you. But you still got to go to the bathroom. They can't bring the bathroom to you. So I think, I
want to hear where Ray goes, but I want to say this before, and then I'm kind of done here with the whole time about it. Is if this is over 3 hours, like it's really long and there's no intermission and it's available right away to buy and watch at home somewhere, I'm just gonna do that. I don't need to be sitting at a theater for more than 3.5 hours. That's ridiculous.
You hear that,
Well, I think
Patrick?
it'll be. I think this will have at least a month to 6 weeks run theater exclusive. That's my best
Probably.
guess.
Yeah, so I'll go. It'll
Ray,
be in
Ray,
3D. I'll pee in a cup.
Longer
I
than
don't know.
that.
Don't look
yeah,
at me.
Longer than that.
we're going to make you talk about it that weekend.
Stadium
So,
pal.
Ray, where do you go to watch the movies? And yeah, I mean, we're obviously all going to the theaters to see this opening night or opening weekend.
My fancy theaters I go is Regal Cinemas. Those are my nicer ones down here. AMC, Cinemark. If I just want to go catch a movie, there's a Cinemark 5 minutes from my house. Um, you know how we buy WrestleMania tickets now? They have 2 days, and you buy one get the pair, so you get the same seat
Oh,
Saturday and Sunday.
the two-day pass sort of thing, right?
Just
Yeah.
do that shit. Do that shit. Sell it a weekend. The first half you come see it at 2 o'clock on Saturday, and then you come back to see the second half 2 o'clock on Sunday. If you're gonna have a 4 hour damn movie, because yeah, 4 hours is a lot, bro. It's a lot. My God, I just what if you bring your kids? God. Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, this
I mean,
this isn't an
I'm a
AEW
go.
pay-per-view for God's sake. Jesus.
Well, no, add a couple extra hours on that as AEW, my boy. Hey, shit, they run all got. Tony Khan, he takes he rents the venue for a week, damn near for one night, because they be in that bitch so long.
Like, if this is longer than 2.5 hours, then give me the 3 hour and 45 minute version with a 15-minute break after 2 hours.
Agreed. Agreed.
Seriously, if you have to pick between those two, and they're gonna screw us with right in the middle. You're gonna have to go watch another 3 hour and 4 minute, 3 hour and 1 minute, 3 hour and 7 minute movie, and you're gonna get 25 minutes of previews, not 15, because everybody's going to this one. So you're basically gonna have to sit there for over 4 hours, 3.5 hours at least.
Meanwhile, for those of you who care, Jacksonville just took the lead on Buffalo. So, whew, Ray is very happy about that.
Your nephew
All right.
isn't. Ha ha ha.
No, he's not. Anyway, we've reached the end of our first half of the show. We're going to take our first commercial break, at least on the official recording. You guys watching live, you're not going to know it. But I will say this, Tony, before we do cut out of here, let people know where can they get their hands on some of that cool chair shot merch, because there's a lot of it out there.
Yeah, prowrestlingtees.com/the chair shot. Check it out. Makes a great gift for the wrestling fan in your life, or the pop culture fan in your life, or the sports fan in your life, or just a nice new T-shirt for you. That's prowrestlingtees.com/the chair shot. Check it out. There's usually some type of promo code. Maybe this one's Happy New Year. I don't know. Ray
Chris
Cash is
Platt will
awesome.
make
Try
something up.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, try that. Or Chris Platt will make up something. But we'll be right back after this commercial message. For you guys watching live, you won't know a thing, but I want to remind you, you're listening to Bandwagon Nerds here on the Chairshot Radio Network, a part of the Chairshot.com. Okay, so moving into the second half of the show here, and this is what's up, Ray?
We'll be right back.
Just keep rolling. Okay, Ray will be back.
He's pulling a Tony.
We're going to go to some news around the nerdosphere and talk about some news stories. We got quite a few of them that are going on. We'll break this up into two parts as well. The first stuff we're going to talk about is, Tony, will this shit with Warner Brothers ever end? I don't think this will ever end. This week, as the Warner Brothers turns, we had Paramount making their, count this at home, kids, their 8th attempt. 8 times? Yes, 8 times. Not 37 times, but just 8 times to their 8th time attempting to buy Warner Brothers. And for the 8th time now, Warner Brothers has told Paramount, fuck off. This is not as good a deal as Netflix is giving us. Leave us alone. Paramount's not going away, Tony. Now they're like telling people that this is going to be terrible for the industry. They're telling industry insiders. They aren't going so far as to claim antitrust or monopolistic violations, but boy, there's a lot of bitching and pissing and moaning about it's like it's like she's not that into you. It's kind of like that. She's not into you. They don't care. They don't want your deal.
If you were a long-time listener of the show, or even just recently listener of the show, how I love discussing millionaires and billionaires arguing over bullshit.
Yes,
that pretty much has zero effect on me because I have to have every super duper subscription in the world anyway. Unfortunately, to watch all the stuff we need, NFL is one of those things. But I, if inevitably this is going to lead to court, isn't it, Dave? You're the lawyer. I mean, it doesn't feel like we're going that way, especially if they don't persist. And I mean, how what's the end game here? Because we can all see how Netflix is a more stable landing point, things of that nature. There's so many positives. I understand that the dollar amount may not be the same.
It could end up in court. I don't see Paramount going down the antitrust route because that's a dead end and a loser.
So then where do we go from there? Like that would have been their main attack in court, wouldn't it have been?
Well, they could try and sue based on tortious interference with contracts. It's a real narrow sort of cause of action that you see in civil cases sometimes where, in a nutshell, one party's claiming that another party has improperly, or in legal terminology, tortiously interfered with business contracts or a contract relation or something like that. So could Paramount sue Netflix claiming tortious interference with business relations without getting too deep into the legalities of it? Because no one here cares. And people listening don't care. Could they? They could. Their prospects for success, the problem is Paramount's got their own skeletons in the closet, and I forget, who is it? Ellison, is that the owner of Paramount? So he's got his own issues. Warner Brothers knows this. They don't want anything to do with all that shit. It's a bad stigma and a bad stain attached to that. Whereas Netflix is coming in here, it's like, we got all this money to spend. Our empire, our network, our stake in everything is growing exponentially. Come with us. And Warner Brothers like, sounds good to me. And you don't have all this bullshit chasing after you like Mr. Ellison does. So could Paramount push this to court? Yes, they could. I don't think it will go very well for them because there's a lot of reasons why Warner Brothers is going with Netflix rather than Paramount. None of the stuff that I've heard so far screams to me interference with business relationship or interference with prospective business relationships such that it would be actionable as a civil cause of action. That doesn't mean they can't do it because people do that shit all the time. You got a tenuous legal position, sue. Okay. That sort of thing. So
waste even more of each other's money, by the way, than doing it. Like you're
billionaires, mega corporations pissing away money.
Yeah, you'd almost be bleeding the entity you're trying to attain.
Let's say you're successful. Say they're successful in
what
this.
A relationship.
And but even if they're successful, if you're going down this path that I'm talking about, interference with tortious relationship, that doesn't get you the contract with Warner Brothers. It doesn't compel Warner Brothers to sell to you. It compels Netflix to pay Paramount damages for interference with a business relationship, but it doesn't undo the deal. As far as I know, maybe there's a way to maybe there's an extraordinary remedy they can claim forcing the sale to them. I don't think so. I don't think it works that way. It's not my exact area of practice, but could Netflix owe Paramount quite a bit of money? Sure. If it's found that they actually actively interfered with this thing to the detriment of Paramount and they got this contract through nefarious means or whatever the case is, yes, but it's not going to get Warner Brothers onto Paramount. It's just not going to happen. My thought on this thing. Ray, what do you think about this whole stupidity?
I think it's stupid. I think it's ridiculous. There was never any deal that they had. If there was a deal that they had agreed upon between Paramount and Warner Brothers, okay, cool. If there was an understanding that that was your property to acquire, okay, cool. If Netflix, like you said, did something nefarious and went behind somebody's back or leveraged somebody to make this, okay, cool. Warner Brothers don't have to sell to anybody they don't want to. They have the choice. And yes, Paramount may be offering a little bit more in totality, but Warner Brothers is offering them more for the properties that they want. Because Paramount's trying to buy all of it, and Warner Brothers just wants the TV, wants the Max and the movie studios. So like they still making out more. They got the right to. If I want to sell my house, and Tony wants to buy my house, and Dave wants to buy my house, and I'm like, they both give me their offers. So I say, I appreciate you, Tony. I'm gonna sell it to Dave. Tony, too bad, so sad. You lost out on the fucking house. Get over it, bruh. What are we doing?
He's going to come back 7 more times and make you a slightly different offer. That's different than mine, but for whatever reason, because I threw in season tickets to the Ravens under the and Tony doesn't know about that. I mean, these things happen.
Check it out. That's
So
John Voight's shirt. I heard you're accepting interesting trades.
It's not all roses and harmony and peaches though with this Netflix purchase of Warner Brothers, because at least one fairly notable director, one of our favorites, has basically said, I ain't working with Netflix. And that is the one and only Christopher Nolan. Those of us who know him from The Dark Knight, that sort of thing. So Christopher Nolan has come out and said, this will probably be the end of my run with the WB and the stuff that I'm doing here. Because I won't work with Netflix. Because he just doesn't agree with Netflix's model, especially their take on theaters and that sort of thing. How they do that sort of stuff. So yeah, I mean, there are going to be people. I think about directors out there who are probably what do you got here, Ray? You got your whiteboard? Liar.
I think so.
I'm not lying, Ray.
I think he'd be better off in trying to.
Nolan.
I think Christopher Nolan would be better off trying to persuade Netflix to let experienced people like him and other projects that are worth it get a necessary movie run that they want, and kind of change that rule in there. I don't know. It's going to be hard pressed though. You talk about the immense success of Netflix and the continual rise they're still on. So
if
try and tell them they're doing anything wrong.
If they offered that man a 3-year, not 3 year, if they offered that man a 3-movie, $100 million deal, you tell me he's gonna be like, nah, son, I don't want it.
They'd have to promise so much runtime as well in the theaters, right?
They don't have to promise shit. Here's the money.
That's what he would want, though. That's what he would want.
Okay.
He's gonna get that money anywhere else, though. There's so many other studios that is going to give him that money.
Okay.
Right? He doesn't need Netflix. Netflix doesn't really need him either. That's the thing about both of them. They don't need each other.
Gotcha. 3 years, $500 million. Deal with this shit.
Yeah, well, we say
that'll change your outlook. That'll change your outlook. I look at Nolan and I look at, I think of some of these other art house sort of guys like Villeneuve is one of the guys who comes to mind, the guy, director for Dune and that sort of thing. Yeah, he may be like, no, man, I need the grand theatrical production and you guys aren't giving that to me. Now, like Ray's saying, money talks and bullshit walks. So will they make an offer to Nolan that gets him to change his mind? Or possibly the other alternative is Netflix changes their posture on this whole thing and says, you know what? Let's make some big, grand sort of cinematic experiences for people. I don't think so either, Ray. I think Netflix has got a model that clearly works. Why change it? It ain't broke. Don't fix it.
They're making money hand over fist. And the thing that the casual, uninformed listener, user, fan doesn't understand is just because you send your movie to a theater and it makes hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars, you split that money 3 ways. That money doesn't come back to you. Every dollar that's made on a Netflix movie goes back to Netflix. Why would they put it in the movies?
Why do you don't need a middleman. Let's eliminate all that shit.
I'll give you 2 weeks so you can leave me the fuck alone, and then you better sit your ass on this chair and watch it on your screen.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I tend to think that you go where the money is, man. And Christopher Nolan is not going to box himself out of a huge business opportunity just on principle. Maybe he will. I mean, he doesn't, like you're saying, like Tony said, neither side necessarily needs the other. But are there millions upon millions upon millions of reasons they should work together? Yes, there is. Will they? I don't know. We'll see. But
I bet you they'll both be okay.
Honey, this next story is squarely in your wheelhouse, my man. This is one that we saw it earlier in the week, and so CES was going on this week, and I know one of my friends on X. Shout out to Joe Mercer, UFO Joe. I know he was doing some work over in Vegas for CES. They revealed something for the Lego fans out there, which is PC Tunney. It is DPP. It is Patrick O'Dowd. It is the little O'Dowd. Explain this to me. What the hell has Lego unleashed upon the earth, Tunney? Smart brick technology, please enlighten me. What is this Lego smart brick technology? And why should Lego fans? I'll say shout out to some other people. Dylan Borland, one of the whistleblowers from the UAP hearing in September. I know he's a big Lego fan. If you're listening, Dylan, shout out to you. You might want to listen to this. This is pretty cool. Tunney, smart brick technology. What is going on in Legoland? Not the one in California.
Let me run down the 3 immediate releases, the first releases with this technology, and they're all Star Wars related, okay? The first one is $69. It's the Star Wars Smart Play. That's what they're calling these. It's Darth Vader's TIE Fighter. It's 473 pieces, which is plenty of pieces. That's probably as many pieces as like a Lego helmet. So I don't know if you were watching Four Corners yesterday. If you go back and watch that video, looking above my right shoulder, I was actually sitting in a possible new studio spot, and I had some of the Lego helmets up there. So check those out; those are pretty sweet. But this is an actual nice size TIE fighter. The next one is $89. Also, the Smart Play we talked about. It's Luke Skywalker's Red 5 X-wing. Okay, so that's 584 pieces. So that's going to probably be just a few more pieces. Might be a little bit bigger, maybe a little more intricate. The TIE fighters are a little bit smaller if you think about the size of the width of an X-wing, likely a little wider. You know what? I'm not wearing my fucking Star Wars hoodie today that has the X-wing on it, which is ridiculous. I'm wearing my Marvel group today instead. But this one looks pretty cool. It's going to have. They all include a smart brick, a smart minifigure, and a tag. And we'll get into that in a second. And then lastly, the biggest of the sets is going to be 962 pieces. It's a throne room duel and A-wing building set. So you're going to have a couple different things there. Luke Skywalker, Palpatine, Vader. You got 5 smart tags with that one that come with it. So now these bricks and tags have microchips in them. And I'm guessing that they understand how they're being built upon and can either feel that, or I'm betting you there's an app and you can program with it. I read the article. I didn't find any more than that. I think it'd be really cool if you could have an app that would control your smart tags, because there are microchips. Maybe if they caught like a Wi-Fi signal or something, that might be a little bit too much to ask. But as far as the microchip technology, I'm feeling like that chip has censorship on how it's being connected to, and it's going to allow you to use it and blink in certain ways on different ships. Sounds like a really cool thing like that. So we'll see. It's new technology. It looks fun. It's not overly priced either. Like these sets and the number of pieces in these sets is pretty applicable to about the amount you're going to spend on a set of similar size and nature right now. So good on Lego for coming up with something new and not like charging an exorbitant amount for a set about the same number of pieces.
Well, explain to people like me who I'm just no good at Legos. It's it's too advanced for my feeble mind. What is the smart brick technology? How does it set apart from just the standard Lego stuff?
I mean, these are going to be able to like blink or make noise, or you're going to be able to change what they can do. Like one will snore on a certain set, and then the other one makes like a helicopter sound. And I think some of them, they already have the light flashing technology, but this is going to incorporate even more action with it, sound, and I think light as well at the same time. So it's a good read. I didn't catch all the technology on it, but I will bet you dollars to donuts I'll have a nice review with DP and I. We're probably going to get at least one of these just to check out how cool it is. Probably go with the cheapest one first.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. I hopefully you guys cover it on DWI, because I'd love to hear DP,
Definitely.
the man who owns the
I knew we were
Thunderdome.
gonna. I mean, we're gonna talk Lego. My latest Lego purchase. So like, we'll get DP on. We'll have a Lego episode for DWI and make sure we tag everybody and promote it here on Bandwagon Nerds, where we go through the immense museum that DP has. Okay, it's just phenomenal. I mainly collect the
I
Lego.
tried to get him to post the picture of the Thunderdome for Dylan Borland and I think Rob Jones, a couple of these Lego fans who I deal with in the UAP community. But DP never looks at anything, so it's like, please, DP, post a picture of the Thunderdome.
I'll get them, and you can share it with the boys over there. But the other thing I collect in a smaller scale, because I just don't have the time. I spend too much on golf. So is the little mech armor guys, and I hadn't seen them, and I was at Target the other day picking up some stuff, being a suburban white girl and getting a Starbucks, and I saw the Batman mech. So here it is, right here, the little Batman mech. Ray loves the suburban white girl thing. These are fun.
Nice.
They're little quick builds, so I got all the Marvel and DC ones, so any character you can imagine has their own mech. I think the Rocket one on the Marvel side is one of my favorite mechs as well. So had to nerd out on the Lego segment here. We got video. Thought I'd show you my latest minor purchase. Tune into DWI though, more major Lego talk with this as soon as we experience it, Dave.
Ray, are you a Lego fan? All right. What do you think of this new smart brick technology?
It's cool, man. Real cool. You can move on. I'm struggling here, so go ahead.
A man of few words. I like it, Ray. I like it. But Ray, I'm not going to let you off the hook on this next story, buddy.
Yeah,
because this is all you, baby. This is all you. Raymond S. Cashington, all of his alternate personalities and realities in the entire multiverse, has been championing the fact that Marvel's Blade, Mahershala Ali, all that fun stuff, it was going to happen. Ray knows, and I love you, Ray, but I've been like very pessimistic about this movie happening for a good year or so. Adamant that they're not doing it. If they were going to do it, they would have done it already. They blew their window of opportunity, and it was there, but they shit the bed on that. Now it sounds like the Blade movie has been scrapped. He will appear as a character, apparently. Marvel is moving forward with the Midnight Suns movie, series, limited run, who the hell knows. Blade will be a part of that. But it sounds like officially, finally, the Blade standalone movie is dead and done. I know this breaks your heart, Ray, so I want to give it to you. Your thoughts on this whole developing and unfortunate situation. Should have never got to this point. Should have never got here. But we're here.
How do I say goodbye to what we had before? It's so hard to say goodbye. I am not convinced it's gone. I think we'll get a Blade movie eventually, but we got to get through all the shit. We got to get through Phase 6. We got to get through Doom and Doomsday and Secret Wars and Midnight Suns and all that. Blade, you heard it here. Blade will have a solo movie. For the record, what gave me the hope was seeing Blade be such a major character in Marvel Zombies. That gave me hope. And not just any Blade. It was the image of Mahershala.
I like the fact that I kind of, in my head too, as Dave's talking about this and, we're reading over, getting ready for the show, it's like, it's not a no right now. It's just a not yet, considering they're going to use the character in some major ways and already have in some, side, if you want to call it side projects, like Ray said, in animation. But a lot of that animation's become canon too. That leads into what we've been seeing in live action. So yeah, I think if the character has success and catches on in some of these minor roles or end up having a bigger role as we continue to move forward, you could easily see a solo movie, but I wouldn't bet on it, Ray. But I do agree that the answer right now isn't no. It's just not yet for right now. It's just, I don't know when that yes is ever going to come.
But between now, so 1 through 3 was the Infinity Saga. 4 through 6 is the Multiverse Saga. 7 through 9 is supposed to be the Mutant Saga. There is no way you're gonna have a Blade movie. You're not gonna have a Blade movie in those 3 phases. As much interconnectivity as Blade has with everybody in the Marvel universe.
I'm not saying I don't want it.
I was gonna say, to steal from Tony Stark in
I Love You
Avengers.
3000.
No, Ray,
3001. I Love You 3001.
I miss that giddy optimism of yours sometimes. I love the fact that you are still holding out hope that we get the. And you may be right, and maybe they use Midnight Suns to introduce. Maybe they just thought, Blade, we need a way to introduce him and get him more to the masses, which doesn't make any sense because you brought back Wesley Snipes and Deadpool and Wolverine. So we all know who Blade is, but
I don't think it's that. I think it's you need a reason for him to be there. See, the problem you have, we all know Marvel sold off damn near everything to keep the lights on, right? So much of the stuff, which is why they started with the Avengers and Stark and Cap and Thor and all that, instead of X-Men and Spider-Man and Wolverine and so on and so forth. That's why they did what they did. And it's worked amazingly for them. But just like you wanted the X-Men to start off this whole new thing, they just got the rights back. They just got the right backs to Namor. They finally got the rights to Hulk enough to make a Hulk movie. They finally got the rights back to Fantastic Four. They're just getting the rights back to all this stuff. So it's really kind of hard to plan for things when you don't know if you have the rights to use them in the way you want them. So now that they have all the rights to everything they want to have and they want to do, that you have to put people in the right situations and you have to explain to the audience. Like the Fantastic Four movie is a perfect example. It worked perfectly because it was understood from the moment the movie started, this is not in your 616 universe. Because if it was in 616, where the fuck have they been? And that's the struggle you're gonna have when you're introducing new people into the main universe. Where have you been? That was a big part of the Eternals movie. Is if you've been around since the beginning of time, why we ain't see you in this? And they
why
tried to
didn't you
explain
stop Thanos from snapping all of us into dust? Yes.
And whether you like it or not, the explanation fit the story. We were told we can't because the whole point is to make war and people to be made and die so that the celestial can come out. So, but you have to explain that. So, Blade, being in the MCU, you have to explain why this dude been here forever, nobody ever seen him or heard anything about him. Why, homie, what has he been doing? And if he's there, then there's got to be vampires. Why we ain't seen a vampire since 2008? There's a lot of explanations to make. Midnight Suns gives the perfect opportunity to do that because Midnight Suns is probably going to be some amalgamation of everybody in Battle World moving forward, which allows for
whoever
you to
survives
bring
Battle World.
exactly, which allows you to bring well in Earth 2295 there was the vampires and now we have some understanding of what's going down.
I want to go to Earth 999 where the WWE network still exists at an affordable price. All right. In any case, let's take our second and final commercial break. When we come back, we got some more casting news and some interesting stuff going on. And of course, the opening round of Battle Royal Madness. Who is going to be sacrificial lambs to those massive number one seeds? That is all coming up when we come back. You're listening to Bandwagon Nerds here on the Chairshot Radio Network, a part of thechairshot.com. All right, into the home stretch here for episode 323. Big shout out and thank you to all the people watching at home. Glad you're tuning in for this today. What's up, Tony? Your microphone is down.
Yeah, if you're on X and you're watching, you have a comment or a question, just tag us right there, right on the feed.
Tony will respond.
See it. And if
we'll tell you how wrong you are.
And if you're on X and you're watching and you see me keep fucking with my face, I'm so sorry. You caught me at the wrong day. I'm trying.
Ray picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue, kids. So that's where we are right now.
Withdrawals are rough. Calling me.
This is an interesting one that Patrick sent to us earlier this week. PlayStation is doing something unique on the gaming side of things. A lot of us, especially people like me, who are at the age that I'm at right now, I still love video games, love playing them. I don't want to spend 3 hours trying to figure out a fucking puzzle that I'm stuck on, or 3 days trying to figure out how to beat a boss. So I am not one of these guys who is against going to like gamefax.com, shout out to them, and looking at a walkthrough or downloading a walkthrough and kind of saying, okay, how do I solve this puzzle? Where's the hidden room at? Where I can find this missing clue? Cool. Okay, let me go do that. You guys, okay. I don't mind doing that as long as I'm the one who's actually going into the game and beating that part of the game and accomplishing that myself. Well, PlayStation wants to take this to a whole new fucking level and bring in AI ghosts. So if you're stuck in a game, you can have AI come in here and get you out of this mess. Not kind of direct you where to go or tell you what to do, but to actually take over the game for you and to get you out of this thing. I mean, and if you're super lazy, you can just put it on, yes, put it on auto. Watch the game, the AI ghost play the game for you, and then I guess decide to jump in when you want to and resume playing and all this kind of stuff. Um, I'm a big proponent of AI in certain respects. This is not one of them. Because, like, what are we doing here, guys? I mean, why even bother to get the game if you're not going to play it? If you just want to watch the cinematics, there's probably ways to do that. But this just seems like, why are we going in this direction? Go ahead, Tony.
Because a huge thing is kids mainly, and I would imagine there's adults too, is to watch people play video games. Like there's channels dedicated with millions of subscribers that they just want to watch somebody else play the video game. And if you can make money by implementing this into your game and selling it to a broader audience, then why not? My only thing is that this stays away from like gameplay online. Like if I'm in Fortnite and someone can log in as their character and turn it on AI and determine their level of how good they want to be and play against me like that,
Just beat
I
the
don't.
shit out of you.
As
Yeah.
long as I'm available, as long as I'm allowed to choose a room with all non AI and still play my game as it's presented, then I don't have a problem with it because it's new technology. There's people that want to play with it. There's people that want to just experience it and use it. And these people are willing to spend money. And who am I to take away from these creators and game makers and things of that nature and console sellers to make more money off of a brand new tool? If they don't, somebody else will. Just keep it away from my online gameplay is basically what I'm trying to say, and make
Well,
sure it's an option that I
that's
don't have to use when I'm playing a game offline as well.
that's
Obviously,
a
it'd
great
have to be
point.
built in,
That's a
you know.
great That's a great point before I go to Ray, because yeah, you do not want this coming in here and disturbing the competitive balance of online leagues. Or if you're like playing, like Tony, if you're playing like you and me jump in there for some ranked match or something on PGA Tour, and there's a third or fourth person playing with us, yeah, I want that to be a human who's actually using skill, not AI maxed out to 10 that never misses a shot, never misses a putt, doesn't
Exactly.
have any problem getting out of the bunkers, doesn't have any
Oh, they
problem
wouldn't
navigating
wouldn't be
wind.
in the wouldn't be in the bunker. They wouldn't have to
Well,
worry
that's
about the
true.
bunker. Every
Every
shot would
par,
be
every par
tee to fairway, tee to green.
driving every par four. It's like fucking Happy Gilmore out there. So,
Oh boy.
yeah, I'm okay with it for like, and I like the concept. I like the idea about if I'm stuck, get me out of here. Um, it seems a little bit lazy. Well, I don't have to read anymore. I just have the AI ghost come on here and get me out of this mess and point me in the direction. Okay,
Would it be cool
I
to
can
choose
live
your
with
level
that.
of how much AI would assist you? Like, I'd like to see a
Yes.
shadow that I can watch do it, and then I have to see what the shadow did, and then it makes me go back and I have to actually do it. It just kind of gives me a little
Sure.
perspective. But I mean, this is nothing new. I'll let Ray go here. I just want to last thing is like when we first brought this topic up, it brought me back to like you could call into the Nintendo hotline and they'd help you get like through Legend of Zelda or something. And this is like the
Yes.
1980s. There's just some dude who knew how to play every video game, got his dream job to drink Mountain Dew, eat delivery
The tip
pizza.
line.
You know, still had the good
Yeah.
Doritos. They tasted good. They weren't horrible for you. But
I
yeah,
need
Ray,
the tip line.
what do you
What do you think,
think,
Ray?
Ray?
I think it's a genius idea because there's a lot of games out here that are really hard to beat. And for the record, this is surely and clearly has to be for story modes or campaign modes. I don't see it being any multiplayer or online modes. It can't be. If it is, they're missing the mark. But there's plenty of games out here that have modes or things that are too difficult. I think specifically back in the day on my Super Nintendo when I was playing Metal Gear Solid, and I'm trying to beat Sniper Wolf. I couldn't beat that for 2 weeks. I would literally have to turn the
Yeah.
game off and come back to it. Well, it'd be nice to
Right.
be a 9-year-old kid and not be trying to beat one spot for 2 weeks. I give it my all. Now, you want to argue the integrity of it? That's fine. But who gives a fuck about the integrity of a game? It's a game. Like, as long as
Right.
as long as you don't put this in esports, as long as you don't put this in things that make money, Who cares?
Side
No, and
side
you're
thing. Side thing. How frustrating are mainly sports games when you put them on easy and they just decide to make it difficult. You're like, "Listen, I'm playing on easy. This could actually be any kind of style game, whatever. It's like if you put it on easy, make it easy. Why do you got to fuck with me?" Sorry, it's a little side tangent.
You're right.
uh, well, I think like Ray, and that's a good point. Like I think back to some of the tougher games, any of like Dark Souls or something like that, which is or Elden Ring that is can be brutally difficult. Super Ghouls and Ghosts from back in the Nintendo days, shit like that. Like I remember on Kingdom Hearts getting stuck fighting Ursula for like a day. If you're telling me there's an option where I can say, all right, I can't get past this fucking thing, AI, beat her ass so I can move on with the story. Okay, I think Ray's got a point there. At that point, you say, okay, great, I can move on. I can't beat this boss. Yeah, it would have been a great sense of accomplishment to pull it off on my own, but I'm an old white guy and I don't have time for this shit. Old man on the porch shouting at class.
And
I don't have time for this shit, Ray.
the most important thing is, society, especially people in our nerd sphere, we've become so analog and so old school and so back in my day and so old man on cloud and so critical of every fucking thing that we forget the point of video games is to have fun. It's not fun if I'm stuck on a spot for 3-4 days.
If this helps with that, then great. If we can use it in those different ways, we'll see. I mean, I think we're all in favor of it. Just keep it away from like our online live gameplay.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I'm in favor of it like story games. I don't want its help on a sports game. I've got to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins on my own. It's just a personal thing, Tony.
Oh,
So,
you just
that's just
wouldn't
me.
do it on sports. Sports, you just adjust the difficulty and use the AI. They
Yeah,
do a pretty good job of
yeah,
allowing
that's
you
right.
to
They
let the
do.
computer adjust to your strengths and weaknesses, or
Well, they
just if
got
you're playing,
dynamic stuff, dynamic AI now. So yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
The fun thing about the realism of the games now is like if you're playing hockey or you're playing basketball or you're playing football mainly, learn how the game is actually played. It's actually the physics and the plays and the nature of what's happening is built into these games now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
We're going to talk now about DJ's favorite movie, Batman Part Two, because we know how DJ loves the Robert Pattinson
I
Batman
heard
movies as much as he loves the James Gunn DC universe.
I heard that
What's up,
Patrick
Tony?
heard that DJ has a good podcast.
I've heard, I see DJ doing these 30 mindless minutes about all sorts of
Oh,
interesting
this is a
topics of
great
conversation.
time to plug that. The inaugural episode was out this week, an introductory episode. It's just 30 minutes on different topics. He's got one with EJ from the Earnestly Speaking podcast this Tuesday morning on Chairshot Radio Network. And then sometime in the future, there's one in the can. We're going to have some cat dad talk. DJ and I recorded that before we started this today.
That's
So
awesome. I love the concept. I love these little random one-off
30
sort of
minutes.
life
You're on your
lesson
way to
sort of
work.
things. Yeah.
You're trying to get through the end of your
Yeah.
workday. You're trying to make it through a meeting and
I
no
know
one knows you have an earbud in.
he just did one about diabetes,
And
so I know
that's the one coming
he's
out
been
on
dealing with
Tuesdays.
that.
So check it out.
Yeah. Um, but we got some more casting news for the Batman Part Two. Matt Reeves,
Did
whatever,
we?
wherever this fits in. And good Lord, the cast for Batman Part Two, Chapter Two, Batman Two, I don't know what the fuck it's called, but Sebastian Stan has been added to an already stacked roster. You got Robert Pattinson, you got Scarlett Johansson, now you got Sebastian Stan, and all the rumors are suggesting that he is going to be Harvey Dent, also known as Two Face, in the Batman Part Two. Um, of course, we all know Sebastian Stan is Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier from the MCU. Now he's dabbling over on the DC side of things. I love the fact that these guys are going back and forth between two of the big three. I love it. It doesn't bother me in the least. But boy, talk about a big get. Big get for James. Well, it's not even James Gunn, it's Matt Reeves. But how you start looking at this cast that they're putting together and who are they going to cast for Batman and the James Gunn whole thing? How does that all play out with Netflix's pending purchase, likely purchase of the WB? Um, what do you think, Ray? I'm going to go to you first on this one, man. Sebastian Stan coming into the Batman Part Two, more than likely as Harvey Dent Two Face. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Tells me that he's dying in Doomsday. That's what that
Okay,
tells me.
yeah. Yeah, there
because
you go. That
the only person before this point who's kind of been able to go back and forth without any reproach has been Jaimin Hensu, who is was the wizard who gave Shazam his powers in DC, and he was Korath, one of the Kree accusers. And so I can't think of very many people who were still under contract and were still active that have gone back and forth that were major. Michael Rooker's gone back and forth, but Michael Yondu's dead. He's done. So of course he can be with James Gunn over there in DC. Like it's not a lot of back and forth because of the contract situation. The companies don't have beef. They actually like each other, but the contracts kind of behoove you from not doing it. It's the same reason why Scarlet is in this movie too, and Scarlet's rumored to be the Phantasm, which
well, I think that's one of the less likely rumors. I think she's probably likely going to end up being Gilda Gold.
there's a lot of rumors. I've heard her being the leader of the Court of Owls, and they don't know who the character's going to be, but she's going to
she could
be.
be Barbara Gordon for all we fucking know at this point. You know,
I've heard
who
Andrea
knows?
Beaumont. I've heard I've heard Andrea Beaumont. The Gilda Gold is the one that a lot of insiders are predicting. Um, the other thing they saying that Zoe Kravitz isn't coming back, and maybe they just want someone that famous because they want to continue on with the Catwoman character. So
I'm trying to think
I don't like
if Harvey
that.
Dent's
I
coming.
don't like that.
If
Harvey Dent is in the movie. That's why they're thinking it's Gilda Gold.
yeah, right. Or I'm trying to think who else. Vicky
Could be
Vale,
Poison
maybe. I
Ivy.
mean,
Could be Poison
could
Ivy.
be. There's a few options on the table, but
I think most
yeah,
likely
that's
is Gilda Gold. I think Ray's assessment of possibly being Andrea Beaumont could possibility secondarily.
The so the rumor is Reeves wants the overarching big bad of the whole Reeves verse to be the Court of Owls. So we're gonna have to get them in here in some form or fashion. We're gonna have to get a talent in here in some form or fashion. So if she's involved in that some kind of way, I just don't want her to be a random ass character. I want it to have something of some importance.
Well, that's the thing you think
some
about, like wanting her
gravitas
to
to
be
her. Yeah.
right. If Harvey Dent's going to be around for one movie, how many more movies is Gilda Gold around for then?
I don't
Right?
think they'd bring him in for one movie only because they did that with Aaron Eckhart, and Aaron Eckhart's a fantastic actor, and they didn't
I
give him a
like
chance
his.
to they didn't give a chance. The beauty of Harvey Dent
He was
as
good.
a character and Two Face as a character is Two Face is extremely aware, even after the accident and in his crime fighting reign, that Bruce is still his best friend. And so there's always the dichotomy of him still loving Bruce, even though he's still an asshole and is killing all his people and all his crimes, and hating Batman. And that's the beauty of that character to me. So if you kill him off in the first movie or he's a one-off, you're ruining a character that has so much potential.
Yeah. So we got a question in here, Tiny, from Dylan Borland. Actually, I think he sent something. Refreshing the feed. Where are we? All right, hold on a sec. Where are my notifications at? Or is this in the chat?
Well,
Now I gotta find this thing. Oh, Buffalo just took the lead too. All right,
11
hold
yard
on a
tush
sec.
push, by the way. So while we're
11-yard
live,
tush push.
yes,
That's
it
pretty.
was fourth and inches from the 10, and they tush pushed him all the way into the end zone as he rolls over to defender and keeps his butt off the ground. Maybe otherwise it's first and goal from like the 1. Buffalo's down 4. Little NFL update here if you're just trying to pay attention to nerdy stuff. We got your NFL update.
Oh, Dylan sent something about he's got a new board game. Well, I thought he was talking. I thought he was like watching the live feed and talking about the Lego stuff. I'll have to respond to him later because I like sharing board games, especially the more difficult ones with Dylan and Rob Jones, and saying, "Man, what do you guys think of this thing?" But can we get this movie? I mean, is this movie actually going to happen someday?
2027.
Can we do you
2027.
can this just be the Batman and James Gunn's universe, please? Like, if we already ruled that out now, or could it still be the
Yeah,
possibility?
that noise ruled out.
Then let's just get this over with. Then I'm done with this.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Fuck it. Let's go, man.
Well, how many more of these are there going to be?
How long is this going to?
How long is this going to exist outside the main DC movie universe?
Forever, because it's not the DC movie universe. This is DC Elseworlds.
Well, whatever.
I think
it's good.
It's
good. It's fine, but like I don't. Yeah, I'm like whatever.
I think it's tremendously stupid too.
Because at some point I'm going to need Batman over on the James Gunn side, and where are we going to be with this Batman?
You're going to have to get Batman on the James. Eventually, you're going to have to. It's it is as inevitable as death and taxes. Batman in the DCU.
We're going to need Batman.
I tell you, yes, exactly. How long are they going to keep doing this? As long as it makes money. The second that thing stops making money, you will see the Batman quickly the Elseworlds will be done.
They have such great characters playing these great characters in the Batman story. Look at like the villains and who's playing them. Paul Dano's the Riddler. Barry Keoghan is the Joker. Colin Farrell is the Penguin. Like three of the greatest portrayals of those characters ever.
You got Robert Pattinson, no matter what DJ says, who I think is a great Batman. You've got whatever Scarlett's going to be doing. Now you got Sebastian Stan as Harvey Dent. I think that's huge. A perfect cast. That is a perfect casting. So I love it. Let's go. Let's just get a release date. Let's get something going with this thing.
You talk about Aaron Eckhart being one of the last people to be Harvey Dent, and I think, and I hope Sebastian Stan does a good job at this. I think he did the best job at being Harvey Dent in the courtroom.
Agreed. And Robert Pattinson's a fantastic Batman, but he's a terrible Bruce Wayne. But hopefully him and Andy Serkis can be better in the Bruce Wayne side. That's why Bale was so good, because Bale was the first time, probably since Clooney, that Bruce was interesting. Because normally Bruce isn't interesting in these movies. So, like, you're right. What Matt Reeves is doing is fantastic stuff, but we'll see.
Batgirl?
And I
don't do that.
Scarlett?
Yeah.
Scarlett? Barbara Gordon. I mean,
she can't be Barbara Gordon. She can't be Barbara Gordon when she's older than fucking Pattinson.
Is there
in the movie? In these movies,
she can play young. Pattinson's
in these movies, Pattinson's Batman.
She can play whatever age she wants. Sorry, Colin Jost.
Did you see? Hold on. Ray, I just want one thing. You see Nancy in Stranger Things? I mean, come on, man.
I don't watch that shit.
Okay. Sorry.
Robert Pattinson in these movies is supposed to be like 25. So you're telling me that
40, isn't he? He's like 40 years old,
isn't he? Close to that. But you're telling me that the dude who's the commissioner is she's the same age as Jeffrey Wright.
I'm just throwing stuff out
there. Not happening. She could be Barbara Gordon, Barbara's mama.
Barbara's mom. Hey, look, this is a good. I want to transition because this does lead into the next thing I want to talk about. Who's the account? Culture Crave, right? They're the ones who put out the graphics showing all the shit that's coming out in 2026, and I'm like, good God! I mean, we got our own problems that we have to navigate through coming up in March and April when we get. We get what is all this stuff coming out there at the same time, right? We got Invincible, Daredevil
season 2,
and The Boys season 5, and they're all kind of overlapping to some extent or another here and there. But it's not just that. I mean, I'm just like going off the top of my head, man. You got Spider-Man Noir coming out, right? We've got we got Wonder Man coming out in a couple weeks.
I got it open.
Go ahead.
I have the page.
Go ahead.
Ray
guys.
Got it.
So the movies are Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Supergirl, Clayface, and Batman Nightfall, which is an animation movie. TV shows action-wise are The Boys, Spider Noir, Lanterns, which is still happening, Daredevil season 2, The Punisher special presentation, Wonder Man, and a show we're not talking about enough that's going to be important, Vision Quest. TV animation is going to be Spider-Man Friendly Neighborhood Spider season 2, X-Men 97 season 2, and Invincible whatever season they're on now. And then there are 5 new games coming out, which is Lego Batman, the Wolverine game, Tokon, which is a Marvel game, the 1943 Marvel game, and Invincible Versus. So there's 20 new projects coming out
So
in 2026.
the question I posed to you guys is a couple years ago, we had that big break, right? Because, superhero fatigue was a real thing. People were tired of this stuff. Ray, not so much. And that's because I love Ray. And he's just like, pump it into my veins, inject it intravenously. Exactly. Bring it all on. But I want to pose this out to you. And I know, Ray, I'm pretty sure I know what your answer is going to be, but it still needs to be talked about is, are we pressing our luck here with this kind of slate of releases? You're talking 20 things on the screen, 6 games, series, movies. Are we pressing our luck? Superhero fatigue. Are we going to reinstate that by putting all this content out in 1 year? Ray, what do you think, man? I think there's a real risk of this. I think superhero fatigue is a real thing. I don't feel it as much as a lot of people. I feel it more than you do. I don't know where Tunney stands on this whole debate, but that is a lot of stuff. I mean, is Hollywood still arrogant? Are they too arrogant thinking that this stuff still is as popular as it ever has been? Maybe by the time we get to Avengers Doomsday, they'll reinstate that. They'll get that back. But right now, I don't know, dog. They're
We
taking a
just
chance
had
on this.
we just had multiple superhero movies last year make $1 billion. There is no superhero fatigue. The fatigue is people are tired of people aren't getting what they want and they're bitching about not getting what they want. This is fantasy booking 101. We're a wrestling website, right? People are fantasy booking the shit that they want to see and they're not getting it, so it's bad. And that's what the case is. Now, what needs to be adjusted 100% is what the expectation for these movies are monetarily. Because you and I have talked about this in person, and all three of us, four of us, if you count Patrick, have talked about this on the show. A movie that makes $500 million is not a failure. But in the
Hmm.
eyes of some of these studios, these movies are looked at as failures because of the exorbitant amount of money that they're putting for to not only do these movies, but for the marketing of these movies. So
Or it just doesn't meet their expectations, right?
exactly,
We
like
think of it like that's a great return, and they're like, "Oh, it sucks." That's what?
yeah, exactly. So you're having these expectations, and they're not meeting those expectations. We have to understand too, movies are a different world post COVID. Yes, you still have some things that blow up. Barbie and Oppenheimer come to mind. But by and
Hmm.
large, box office are still lower than they were before COVID. So you have to really switch the way you look at things and adjust. But in terms of superhero fatigue, no, clearly it's not. More all of these shows, the highest rated shows, the two highest rated shows, well three because shout out to Beast Games, but besides that, the two highest rated shows on Amazon Prime are what? Invincible and the Boys.
Gen V should be in there, but whatever. Yeah.
Sure, Jeffrey,
Our,
but
our
the universe, right?
our personal favorite, right, Ray? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So I'm just saying, like that, there's no superhero fatigue. It's just people want what they want, and they fell in love with these characters, and these characters are gone because it was 20 years ago. So I'm gonna hate on Riri Williams because she's an iron, but she's not a man. She's a heart. Get the fuck out of here.
Honey, before I go to you, congratulations to the Buffalo Bills for outlasting the exact words Jacksonville Jaguars 27-24 and another thriller. Are we going to get a bad game this weekend? Probably not. And they're all going to
Just
be epics. Um, sorry, Ray,
just a
your
shitty day for me.
Bills hatred. Yeah. Tony, what do you think, man? Superhero fatigue, is that a real problem, or how do what do you think about this?
No, I agree with what a lot of Ray said about it not being a problem. The amount of money they're still making, there's a lot of series that are you just you hear that loud minority more than you just the people that are still the number of people that are still, and there's numerous people that still enjoying all these projects, whether it's animation, whether it's a streaming series, or people are still going to the movies like Ray said, making all the money they did last year. So I expect them to make just as much this year with what have we got, a Spider-Man and a Doomsday. What has DC got this year? Supergirl is going to make some significant money. So
Oh
Clayface
yeah.
probably won't make a lot of money because of the movie, but if it makes
All right.
$300 million, that's a success for that
Dude,
movie.
if they turn a profit on Clayface, that's
Yeah.
that's a win.
So I'm here for all of it. I'm really looking forward to Spider Noir with
Cage.
Nick Cage.
Yeah. I think the big ticket items for me are the ones that stand out. I mean, everything that we're talking about coming up in March and April, because those are shows that are near and dear to our hearts. Whatever, The Boys final season, Daredevil Born Again season 2, for whatever reason, did not do as well rating wise as it should have. I can't figure that out. Go figure. And Invincible, of course, season 4, the ever Mark and Omni Man. Give it to me, pump it in my veins, and of course the big movies: Spider-Man, Brand New Day, Supergirl, Doomsday. Speaking of movies, last thing I want to talk about before I turn this over to Ray for Battle Royal Madness opening round is we got a release date for Godzilla Minus Zero, the sequel to Godzilla Minus One, officially official November 6th, 2026. Basically a month before we get Avengers Doomsday, we are going to get the Godzilla Minus One sequel in the form of Godzilla Minus Zero. It was one of Patrick and mine's, and I think DJ's and many others, surprise sleeper hits of last year. One of the best, if not the best, Godzilla movie of all time. You guys are kaiju fans. Ray, what do you think of this thing, man? I know you're broken up about it. I can see that. But what? Trying to make you laugh, buddy. What do you think, man? Godzilla Minus Zero coming out in November. That's far off, but not that far off. It's almost here, man. Oh, we lost Ray. You're muted.
Sorry. I'm very excited about it. Love the idea of the movie. I love the movie. I think that I love what Godzilla Minus One, even that shitty Bryan Cranston Godzilla movie, and the Kong movies. I love what they've done, and even throw out Pacific Rim, there is a renewed vigor for kaiju movies, and I love it because they can be so fun. And Godzilla Minus One was done so correctly because if I'm not mistaken, that's made by the people that actually made Godzilla, correct? Yeah, so I'm
Think
definitely here
so.
for a
I
sequel.
mean, it's Japanese companies. I mean, anybody who knows, if there's somebody who knows about Godzilla, it's the Japanese.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Understatement. Understatement. Tony, did you see Godzilla? You saw Godzilla Minus One, right? Or
No,
did you not?
I'm not a big kaiju monsters guy. Horror, all that stuff is kind of. Sorry, I'm glad you guys are happy about it though. I'm here. I heard it's wonderful.
Thank you for your participation, Tony. It is very
Well,
much.
I can only be who I am, Dave.
I am what I am. PC
And that's all that
Popeye.
I
There you go. I like it.
am.
PC Popeye. I like it. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait for Godzilla Minus Zero to come out. Give it to me. Give me that sequel. That is going to bring us to the point of the show where we cede control of things to the one and only Raymond S. Cashington, who is going to lead us through the play-in round to see who gets sacrificed to these number one seeds in our Battle Royal Madness tournament. Raymond S. Cashington, I give it to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ungar. Do you see my beautiful screen?
I see your beautiful screen.
So I want
The,
to
the
remind you
dogs are
all.
not happy, but whatever.
Well, I know because they mad with
They're
Patrick
never.
for R2D2, right? Um,
Yes.
so first and foremost, for those of you who are maybe seeing this or hearing this for the first time, um, if you are
Oh,
familiar with
hey.
March Madness, the NCAA tournament, we here at Bandwagon Nerds have started our own annual tournament of all things nerddom, nerd sphere, fandom, whatnot. This is our third year. The first year we did Superhero Madness, which was won by the Scarlet Witch. Our second year was Villain Madness, which was won by Hella. So far we're 2-0 for women. This year we want to be a little different. It's a lot of things we could have chose, a lot of things we went through, and I decided to use them all. Everybody get a taste. Everybody get to smoke. And so, being that we are a wrestling website, I derived from that the Royal Rumble and whatnot, and chose the idea of Battle Royal Madness, Super Smash Brothers for March Madness, if you will. We have four categories, four brackets, In your video games bracket, you have your number 1 seed Kratos versus the number 16 seeds. We'll talk about that in a second. Mario's 8 seed versus Pikachu the 9. Cloud Strife, the 5 seed versus Geralt of Rivia, which is Tony's favorite character, the 12. The 4 seed Doomslayer versus the 13 seed Sonic. The 3 seed Samus versus the 14 seed Mega Man. The 6 seed Link versus the 11 seed Desmond Miles from Assassin's Creed. Get Over Here, Scorpion number 7 versus number 10 Solid Snake, and number 2 Master Chief versus Laura Croft. Star Wars, we have Darth Vader gonna kill whoever wins the 16 seed. Mando himself, Din Djarin, the 8th seed versus Boba Fett, number 9. Obi-Wan, 5 versus Grand Admiral Thrawn, 12. Darth Sidious, the 4 versus the 13 Chewbacca, the number 3 seed Luke Skywalker versus his bestie Han Solo at the 14. Darth Maul and his two-sided dildo lightsaber versus Cad Bane, the number 11.
Wow. God damn it, Ray.
Wow. Committee has a bias.
I love
Jesus.
Darth Maul. I don't love the dildos, but I love Darth Maul. The number 7 seed General Grievous versus number 10 Moff Gideon, and number 2 Yoda it is versus Fennec Shand, the 15. We have done everything up to this point, all Marvel or DC, so there's a lot of other comics out there that don't get enough love. So we picked them all and we made them in the category, the bracket World Comics. Omni-Man, the number 1 seed, is going to face the 16 seeds we'll speak about here in a second. Hellboy the 8 versus Deku, aka Izuku Midoriya, from My Hero Academia. At the 9, Optimus Prime, number 5 versus the White Ranger, the Green Ranger, the Red Zero Ranger, whatever you want to call him, Tommy Oliver from the Power Rangers. Invincible Mark Grayson himself versus Michelangelo at 13, and this is the last Ronin. Michelangelo. Spawn, the number 3 seed versus the Crow, the number 14, and no, I'm not talking about Sting. Bloodshot, the number 6 seed versus Vampirella at 11. Sarah Pazzini, Witchblade, 7 versus Sailor Moon at 10. And that dastardly Homelander, number 2 versus Judge Dredd, number 15. And then...
Poor bastard.
Look, there's a lot of deaths about to happen. And then there's a lot of other fandoms that I couldn't pick 16 in, so we said throw them all in one bracket. The best of the rest. The number 1 seed, Godzilla, and God bless the 16 seed. We'll talk about that in a minute. In the world of horror, the number 8 seed, Jason Voorhees, versus the number 9 seed, Michael Myers. The number 5 seed, Terminator T-800 versus number 12, John Rambo. The 4 seed, Don't Call Me King, Just Call Me Kong, versus number 13, Conan the Barbarian. The number 3 seed, from Dragon Ball Z, Goku, Son Goku, versus... from Avatar, the highest grossing movie of all time, Jake Sully. The number 5 seed is that dastardly predator.
Jake Sully.
Jake Blue Body. The number 6 seed Predator versus the number 11 seed the Xenomorph. We are having the rematch of the century. The number 7 seed Count Dracula, Vlad the Impaler himself, versus Pennywise, number 10. And Sauron from Lord of the Rings versus... my bad, Harry Potter, the number 15 seed. So, these are your brackets. We will handle these one bracket a week. Starting next week, we will go through the video games bracket. The 4 of us, and we do have a tiebreaker that we have ready. But we can't get to the main tournament until we get through the 16 seeds. Just like in March Madness, the field of 64 is now the field of 68. We have 4 playing games. Well, the 16 seeds are all playing games. And we are moving on to our play-in. So, gentlemen, are you ready?
I am as ready as I'm going to be, Ray. Give it to me, baby.
I am armed with tiebreakers.
In the words of Offspring, give it to me, baby. Uh-huh.
And all the homies say you're pretty fly for a white guy.
For a middle-aged white guy. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate you leaving the middle-aged part out, but, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, age is a construct, right? Age of disclosure.
It's all relative, buddy.
Let's go through the video games bracket first. We have the battle of maybe 2 of the most popular video games and video game characters of all time. In the world of Tekken, you have Jin Kazama, the basically who the whole damn thing is about. Versus Street Fighter, the baddest chick with the skimpiest dress ever, Chun Li. Gentlemen, I'm gonna start with yes, you, our fearless leader today, and the lawyer, Dave. By the way, for the record, the way we're deciding this is if both characters were to meet randomly in a random location and they had to fight to the death, who would win? Jin Kazama, Chun Li, Dave. Who wins this fight?
There's actually stuff online, videos, fan made videos about this whole thing that I didn't really watch in total detail. Um, I certainly prefer, from the franchise standpoint, I'm much more of a Street Fighter person than a Tekken person. But I'm gonna give this one to Jin Kazama because I think she's got a little bit more of that mystical sort of stuff that she can pull out of her back pocket than Chun Li. Chun's more, I think, straight up better fighter is probably Chun Li, but I don't know if she's got the stuff in her back pocket like Jin does to throw at her. To kind of dig into that sort of mystical sort of thing to get that advantage. So a lot of this is a matchup that's been heavily debated online for many years. So I'm not breaking any ground here. You can go either way on this one. I'm going Jin on this one by the slightest of margins. Who do they go up against? Who's the number one seed? Kratos.
They will be
Yeah.
facing Kratos from God of War, so it does
If
all
she
six, all
wins,
four of these winners are dying. So
yeah, God be with you, whoever
just an
wins this
honor to make
thing.
it to the tournament. You feel what I'm saying?
Good luck, Jin, if you survive this. But I'm going with Jin Kazama to beat Chun Li in this first play-in game.
Tony, who you picking, brother?
I agree with Dave. The supernatural edge alone, I think you add that can already being able to withstand, a real resilient attack from Chun Li. But then you talk about the Devil Gene. If that activates, like this is over like immediately.
Yep.
Okay. Um, Tony, not Tony. I'm sorry, Patrick chose. No, let me pick mine. Let me pick mine first. I'm taking Chun Li, and I'm gonna pick Chun Li because there's something to be said for genuine desire to want to win, to need. If you know anything about the Street Fighter story, this was basically an orphan little girl that was left in the streets in China and made herself into a badass, and just the vigor with which she wanted to kill them Bison for killing her father, learning the things that she did, becoming as great a fighter as she did, having to overcome every obstacle possible. As good as Jin is with the Devil Gene and all the things he has possible, I think Chun Li got that dog in her. And Patrick seems to agree. Patrick's direct words are Chun Li, I
Wow.
never played Tekken, and them thighs.
Wow.
Such
So
such well thought out. So we're going to tiebreakers already on the
tiebreaker
very first
already,
fucking game.
baby. Go and we're gonna go to
Explain,
the
Tony. Explain how the tiebreakers work.
So if it was 3-1, we don't even go to tiebreakers. Even if the tiebreakers would have changed the result, we don't. We if as long as there's not a 2-2 tie between the four main people on Bandwagon Nerds, but if there is a 2-2 tie, we have not just one backup. We have three backup votes that are activated. All three have been on the show. All three are nerds and pay attention. And if are not as familiar as they should be, research this and take it. They know their importance here. So immediately done. First, play in. We get it. So I'm gonna just go in the order I have them here. Aesop. Aesop has Jin Kazama. DPP has Chun Li.
oh shit.
And DJ has Chun Li.
Well,
There you
guys,
go.
Chun Li has earned the honor to be sacrificed to one of the gods of war, Kratos himself. Chun Li makes it through to the tournament.
Like I said, one of the most hotly contested debates that you will find in any of the matchups that Ray came up with is this exact one right off the bat. There's no shortage of debate on the internet about this exact matchup. So the fact that it came down to a tiebreaker vote at the end does not surprise me at all. So awesome.
Completely agree.
Good going, Ray.
Agree. Thank you, sir. Moving to the world of Star Wars, probably the bracket, the matchup that I believe Dave is looking forward to the most. We have the coolest man in the galaxy, Lando Calrissian, versus one of the more popular bounty hunter droids in the game. We're going with the OG IG-88. Mr. Tunney.
Yep.
We'll go to you first.
Yep. Not even close. This was over pretty quick. I mean, Lando's resourceful and all, but he's not this war droid. So IG-88 in some random encounter is easily going to be able to, first of all, get Lando if he's able to on the run, if he's smart enough to take cover and try to get some strategery going. IG-88 is a war bot and it already has all strategery built into him to make sure he takes down not just one person, but an entire army of people. So I don't think this stands much of a chance for Lando. Sorry, buddy.
Go ahead, Big Dave.
Yeah, I agree with Tony. As clever and cool as Lando is,
Assassin
we're not
droid,
talking
I'm sorry. Let me be
exactly.
correct for everybody. Assassin droid.
We aren't talking about the powers of seduction or cutting a deal in Cloud City or in Bespin. We're talking about a fight. And unless he's reprogramming IG-88, this is going to be over very quickly. He can't win this match, can't win this fight. He is resourceful. I give Lando credit for that, which gives him at least a slight chance. But yeah, I don't see Lando surviving a straight up one-on-one fight with an assassin droid from Star Wars. That's not happening. I'm with Tony on this. I got IG-88 winning, which pains me because I love Lando. Absolutely love Lando, one of my favorite characters. But sorry, boss, you ain't winning this one.
So I promise you, I'm not doing this for the purposes of making it interesting. But both Patrick and I have chosen Lando.
We'll have these on standby every week. Do you want to? Is this a sign that we should just go to the 7-man vote?
No.
We need to keep it the way it is, just for the purposes of the OG4, and then have the backups.
All right.
Because
Are you ready?
Wait.
No,
Hold on. What's the
yet.
rationale? How is Lando winning this? I want to hear this.
Because IG-88 is a droid that's
IG-88 doesn't have a heart.
IG-88 is a droid that's been beaten numerous times in numerous iterations, and as smart and as tactical as a droid is, it doesn't have the ability to be resourceful. It doesn't have the ability to think on its feet.
Lando is one of the most droid. It's programmed to assassinate.
Right, but has it assassinated everybody it's meant to assassinate? Has it lost? IG-88 is clearly lost because Mando used him. Mando used IG-88 in The Mandalorian. And repurposed it.
What did Patrick say?
He picked Lando. And his reasoning was, he directly says, R2-D2 defeats both. Otherwise, Lando outsmarts the bounty hunter droid. I just think the resourcefulness of Lando being able to assess the situation in a way that the droid can't and doesn't, we'll take him out.
Oh, either way,
he's not Batman.
Somebody's getting.
He's not Batman.
Next round here.
Yeah, that's true. Who's the number one seed again? Darth
Vader.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tony.
Got with
the
tie break this bitch.
Asaph has Lando.
Okay.
DPP has IG-88.
Boy, I set this shit up perfect, didn't I?
And DJ has IG-88. And the one thing you can say to all you Lando fans is you've been spared a horrific death by the hands of Darth Vader.
Dude, it's gonna be Vader's like just he doesn't need to choke him because he can't choke him, but
they just turn him off. Like it's like just a snap or a look and it powers off.
Yeah.
So that powered off.
I'm turning you off now. Yeah. All right, IG-88 through to the round of 64 to get I don't even know if they've got a word for what Darth Vader's going to do to him.
I have a prediction that things are going to get a little bit easier before they get really difficult again. That's my prediction here in the next couple rounds.
And maybe the Sith Galactic Empire needs some spare parts.
Maybe.
It's all he's going to be good for, Ray.
I would love to have an absorption tournament maybe next year where we change the rules that you absorb your opponents in defeat. You absorb their powers that you've defeated them.
That could be interesting. I gotta figure that out. I might do that.
Because we could restart. We could go back and reuse characters then in different ways that we've already 100%.
You know, well,
once we get there. Once we get
there. But then
you're giving. If you have an idea and you're watching this right now, and I know a bunch of people are, send us a line there on a good idea for a tournament or who you think should have won or maybe lost here in any of these situations.
But then you're giving credence to Patrick and Tharnage, and so I don't know about that.
Well, I mean,
Tharnage.
I like Tharnage.
You mentioned earlier that Lando isn't Batman. Well, the man who is just basically the same as Batman in many ways. From Wildstorm Comics, we have the Midnighter versus Negan from The Walking Dead, with Lucille, of course. She's never far away from the boy. All right, Dave, who you got?
Wow. This one. Let me think about this for just a second here.
You want me to go?
Yeah, if you're ready,
go ahead, Tony. Let me just think for a minute. I just want to think about this for a second.
This is the Midnighter, and I'll give you it pretty easy. Like Negan's tough and everything, and he's got the bat, but like the Midnighter already knows 500 ways to stop that bat with his battle computer. Right, it runs millions of fight simulations, of seconds, and he knows what's going on, predicting every move and outcome. Not to mention he's a superhuman cyborg with enhanced like speed, vision, everything else. So, I mean, it's a cute idea, but I think this is Midnighter pretty easy.
Before you go, Dave, just so they won't think that I'm doing this on purpose, I also picked the Midnighter. For everything Tony said, he just has too many things available to him to be able to do stuff. And the beauty of Negan's character is, as dangerous as Negan was never taught to fight. He wasn't a bad man before the fall of the world. He became bad because he had to. But he wasn't a dude out there that just knew how to throw hands and scrap. He was a badass because he was able to subjugate.
I mean, Midnighter's taken on like metas and speedsters in one, and like groups of bad, ass people
right
one. So it's really like the experience, the battle computer, the cyborgness of his nature, enhanced, human abilities. That's the biggest one.
Speaking of all that, so Patrick picked Negan. Reasoning here, another one that is tough for me as I am not very familiar with Midnighter, but Negan is a cold motherfucker. So
we got what? You vote. What did you guys voted for Midnighter? Patrick voted for Negan, right?
Yes.
We're not going to the tiebreaker this time because I'm with you guys. I think this is Midnighter. I was trying to take some time to come up with a way that I thought Negan could win this thing. And I think Ray kind of convinced me as I was trying to go there. Negan is not exactly the best fighter in the world. I mean, he does some stuff later on, things with Beta and that sort of thing. But Rick kicked his ass whenever they got in a fight. If Negan doesn't have Lucille, he's just a dude. And Midnighter's not just a dude. And I think, like Tony's saying, a lot of the factors that come into what makes Midnighter so damn good. Not that it's going to help him against who's number one, Omni-Man? Is that who the number one seed is?
Yes, sir.
None of this shit matters.
That's why there's a lot of matchups. That's why there's multiple matchups next week.
Yeah, go for it, Midnighter. Go forth, conquer, get by Negan, beat his ass, and I hope you like a hole being punched through your chest because that's about to happen.
Also, this would be a fun scrap. Midnighter carry a gun. Why would I fight you?
Bring a knife to a gunfight. Bring a bat to a gunfight. Yeah. Well, see how that works for
you. Well, you mentioned bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah. Do you want to know your votes? Should we get or should we not reveal them if not necessary?
It doesn't matter. It's up to you. It's your choice.
They're all Midnighter.
I figured.
Okay. So Patrick's the outlier here. I got you.
I I did everything in my power to pick Midnight. I mean, pick Negan. Question. Okay, question for you. I'm not sure if you're as familiar with The Walking Dead, Tony, as Dave is. But Dave, if this was Rick Grimes instead of Negan, would you have chose different?
No.
Okay.
Rick's a
All
better
right.
fighter, but it's still at the end, he's still limited by the same. I mean, Negan's got a better shot because he got Lucille. Rick
Mid-
doesn't. I mean, I guess Rick has a
Rick,
gun,
he
but
got the gun,
Midnighter's
and
like
Rick
good
is a
luck.
cop.
meta-human level. I mean, that's kind of what
Yeah,
I think of
he's
Midnighter
got
as.
he's actually got some powers. I mean, Wildstorm was absorbed into the DC universe at some point, so he's almost pretty much a DC character. I know you're trying to avoid that, but he's got experience with the DC universe, which
Right.
puts him on a higher level immediately.
To that point, when we get to the World Comics bracket, I'll explain it again on that week. But there are a lot of characters that have been absorbed into Marvel or
Yeah,
DC. But I picked these
that's
people
fair.
who started outside of Midnighter
And
was made outside of DC. He was
and
made
for
while out
all
in
intents and
Wildstorm.
purposes of what we're doing, it's their abilities and story outside of before absorption. That's kind of
One
how
hundred
I took
percent.
it with
Well,
Midnighter. These are
all I
still
gotta
Agreed.
things he
say,
still had before that.
all I gotta say is this final matchup is the one that I was looking forward to the most because I
That's what
think there's the
everybody's
best
here for this
discussion,
week.
and probably the big dissension amongst us is going to come in this one. So go ahead, Ray, give it to us, man. I'm ready
Best of
for
the
this one.
rest. Best of the rest. You got Baba Yaga himself, John Wick versus the bride from Kill Bill, Beatrix Kiddo. Who wants to go first? Dave, you excited about it. You want to go?
Oh no, I said this last week. I think I talked
Well,
about it off air with you guys. Go ahead. What's up, Ray?
let Patrick go first.
Go ahead. Let Patrick go first.
Patrick says John Wick. He's still pissed about his dog, and Beatrix got her kid back.
Look, hold on. I'm just let me text my wife real quick.
Tony, you
Here's the
got an
thing.
answer? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead if you're ready.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, so I'm going John Wick as well. And you explained it. This is the Baba Yaga we're talking about. Um, I understand that the bride went through 200,000 yakuza to get to Bill and to everybody else. But ain't nobody gone through more bullshit than John Wick through 5 fucking movies or 4 movies or an entire city against him. And not just hand to hand, weapons of all sorts coming at him. The man has survived the Illuminati or whatever the hell that group is, raining all sorts of ungodly fire at the Continental. And as badass as the bride is, she didn't face anybody like John motherfucking Wick in those 2 movies. None of them. She can try that fucking 5 finger death punch sort of thing to John Wick. That's not going to work. The guy is
It's an exploding heart
on a
palm.
different that whatever the fuck it is. It's not going to work.
Jerk. Big jerk.
I got John
Look
Wick
what
in
you
this
did,
one
you little jerk.
with all due respect to the bride because she earned it in those movies. But we are talking about a guy who is a step maybe below one of the archangels of hell when he gets his sights on you. And the thing is, John doesn't want to be that guy. But when he is and here's the thing, this tournament, this matchup will force him into that place. And the bride's not beating him. I got John Wick as well, man.
Ray, I don't know if your vote ends this or adds suspense or not, so I'll make sure that we have suspense at least going into your vote because I have Beatrix here. I think unless it's a complete and total gunfight, like she's been through the Yakuza, she knows how to stay alive in
Yeah,
some gunfights. So if this can get into closer
We both
quarters,
do.
it's not
Sorry.
even close. I think she's way better hand to hand combat in
agreed.
close quarters, doing everything else like that. So I like Kiddo here. Sorry, Mr. Wick.
So I'm with you in
Mr.
that.
Vic. Mr.
Wick.
I'm with.
Vic.
Wick.
I'm with
Mr.
you in.
Vic.
I'm with you in
Mr.
that
Weak.
if it was
Oh no,
hand to
Mr.
hand,
Bill.
if there's no way, as great as John Wick is, as amazing as John Wick is, I just think Beatrix is a better hand-to-hand combatant. But John Wick got them things on him. John Wick good with them things. John Wick really good with them things. I want to pick Beatrix because I love her, and that 1 versus 100 scene is the greatest fight scene I've ever seen in my life. Word to Seven Samurai. But it's got to be Baba Yaga, bro. It's got to be.
Aesop had Wick, DP
Ray,
had Wick,
Ray,
DJ had Beatrix.
Ray, look here. I want to do this for you.
Yep.
You're not even looking. You're not even looking.
So I'm writing this down so I can put it in my spreadsheet.
Here, man.
He's the official. He's the archivist when it comes to the video game or for the battle royals here.
Not that it matters, because as great as John Wick is, he is not going to stand up to Godzilla and atomic nuclear breath, and God knows what else is going to. That's where the fantasy ends, and you find out that Baba Yaga is badass, but not that badass.
Bro, Godzilla's going to eat all of John Wick's dog's descendants.
And he's gonna, and he's gonna take down Godzilla because of dog. Wow.
Yeah.
So going into the tournament is officially set. Everybody was starting next week with going on video games bracket. But for the record, as a recap, the Bandwagon Nerds chose Chun-Li over Jin Kazama to face. So Chun-Li will move on to face the number 1 seed Kratos from God is War. Lando lost to IG-88. Therefore, IG-88 has the honor of becoming a nice lampshade for Darth Vader.
It's a major award, Ray.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Darth of the Year award.
That was a leg lamp joke, Dave. You're supposed to laugh at that
one. In the World Comics bracket, the Midnighter moves on over Negan and has the opportunity to be sacrificed for the greater good by Omni-Man, and Baba Yaga takes out the bride with the honor of being eaten or smushed or whatever by the Godzilla.
Vaporized.
So, just a little preview for next week, everybody. That's what we're doing. Battle Royal Madness. Right. There will be a big old X on Jin Kazama starting next week. So, let's get it, everybody.
Let's go. Thank you, Ray. An excellent job as always, sir. You did very well. Let's get to the last thing we're going to talk about, because we are running long here today and I want to get you guys out of here. What you guys been watching this week? Tony, what you been watching, man?
I haven't been watching much, to be honest with you. I've been pretty busy this week. We haven't had a project yet. We got a bunch of them coming up. Man, I'm trying to think if there was anything at all I really get caught up on here. First Raw of the year was pretty good, so I guess we'll just have to go with wrestling this week.
Raymond, what you been watching this week, man?
The Pit Season 2, first episode dropped. Ooh, fantastico. Love it. Was there anything else?
Awesome.
No, that's really the only other thing I watched.
Beast Game Season 2 is out. I'll probably check that out after this right now. There's a cool little celebrity 30-minute one where they eliminate the celebrities, which is a fun watch. So I watched that. There you go.
I watched that and the first 3 episodes of Beast Games. I'm down in the tank.
I'm going to watch that right now. Fantastic. I'm going to put the football game on the other TV and watch Beast Games.
For me, like I said, I started watching Knives Out. I need to finish that. Still going through the Beatles anthology, which is just fucking awesome, man. And I watch this and I start to really question myself. Are they my favorite band of all time? Have they replaced Green Day? I don't know if I'm going that far, but good God, how do 4 guys make so many great songs? I don't get it.
There's 2 bands, Dave, that I think of when I'm like, man, I could have like a 4 or 5 hour road trip and just listen to all of their hits, and it's the Beatles and CCR.
Yeah, CCR.
I'm not saying CCR is as great as the Beatles. I'm saying CCR is a great band, but they're not the Beatles. But I'm saying they both have tons of fucking hits.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main things I've been watching this week. That's going to do it, man. Our first ever live episode of Bandwagon Nerds in the can. Great stuff all the way around, guys. Awesome. Appreciate everybody who tuned in and watched the episode as we went along. Before we cut out of here, Tony, why don't you let people know where they can check you and Ray Cash out, since you're going to do it anyway?
Follow him at It's Ray Cash right there. You can see it in front of you. Follow me at PC Tunney. Chairshot Radio Network is on all of your favorite streaming platforms when you're looking to just get some radio in your earballs. And don't forget the chairshot.com. Tons of wrestling coverage over there, but you can also find all of our podcasts and prowrestlingtees.com/the chairshot. And if you guys enjoyed this, this Madness tournament is a really fun thing that we're going to do at the end of every show every week, and I think at the very least that's going to be live. So we'll see what happens moving forward. Thanks for tuning in. Give us some ideas. Give us your feedback. We want to hear from you guys. That's what we want. We really want to hear from you. Thank you to all of our listeners.
We'll say this: if you've enjoyed this show, this live episode of Bandwagon Nerds, do us a favor, give us a follow at Bandwagon Nerds. Go on X, follow the show there. You get updates and stuff like that. Ray's pretty good about updating that site. We hope you enjoyed it. And of course, it's on thechairshot.com every episode, every Monday morning. As far as me, follow me on X at AttitudeAg. Most of you guys know that by now. Facebook.com/Attitude of Aggression. Go to the website, attitudeofaggression.com, and the YouTube channel, where you can tune in to see how brilliant we all were in our football prognostication this week. And we're doing pretty good so far, guys. I think we're doing pretty good. Since there was no consensus amongst us on any game, that means we're doing pretty good. Somebody's winning. So there you go.
We're about 500.
Yeah, we're about 500. So that's going to do it for this. And of course, make sure Patrick O'Dowd, the true leader of Bandwagon Nerds,
at Wrestling Realist.
Yeah. Make sure you check him out. Without the second eye, that's right. Make sure you're checking him out. He'll be back next week. That's going to do it for this edition of Bandwagon Nerds. Until next time, everybody, get out of the basement, get some sun, say some prayers for the number 16 seeds before they get all sorts of bad things done to them by the number 1 seeds in Battle Royal Madness. It's going to be bloody and brutal and disturbing. But until next time, for myself, PC Tunney, Raymond S. Cashington Esquire, Patrick O'Dowd, all of us at Bandwagon Nerds, hope you guys enjoyed this. Get your Lego Batman. We will catch you guys next week as Battle Royal Madness kicks off in earnest. So long, everybody.